could be linked to anything, really.
I'm just spamming it out on all of the social media, see if we can get more
folks,
people in.
I think we're live, folks. I believe we're live, folks.
We're live yet?
Yep. Right, so how are we doing? Hope this is going okay. We've had a bit of technical issues yet again. If it's not Zoom, it's Skype. So
I'm spamming it out on all of the social media, see if we can get more people in.
I think we're live, folks.
Right. Oh, it's working.
Live, folks.
Who's got it playing in the background? Because that's not going to work.
Hang on.
Not me. I'm on a headset, it's not me.
Chris, yet again.
Forgot to turn the volume down.
Right, cheers, folks. Got the beers out.
Oh, your glass went see-through then?
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, that's weird.
Wait until Chris strokes his pussy. That looks really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With his green eyeshadow on.
So,
no, you missed that.
So, yes, we've got Subex here, folks. Sub Exploration. Indeed. He's come to join us with crazy conversations we're going to have.
Howdy, folks.
And number one fan. And with this fella at the top. Oh, Chris. How are we doing?
Hi.
Indeed. Right, so, yeah, this is a stout that I made. And you saw a video of being made. So this is sort of like a review of the actual beer. I didn't film putting it into the pressure barrel because I just wanted to get it done at the end of the day. But it tastes all right. I feel a bit tipsy. I've only had a couple of swigs out of it. So, yeah.
It's probably it's like moonshine or something.
It's like black treacle.
It didn't really ferment that long, though. It only fermented for a day, so I don't know what was going on. I'm probably slowly getting poisoned now, so...
Well, if it was only fermenting for a day and you're already tipsy, I'd hate to imagine what it'd be like after 2 days.
Proper
Bloody hell. It just stopped fermenting, though. It just stopped.
I feel like black vodka.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. So, Subex, Simon, what's been going on with you?
Oh, well, same as a lot of people, I guess. Working from home, not getting out much. Fortunately, I do live in a more rural area, so late in the evening, about 10, 11 o'clock, I have been out into the woods looking for a dean hole, which I've neglected to look for a while.
Right.
So far, it's not gone very well.
No. What is it? Is it buried one, or is it just...
Yeah, so the site's got 2 dean holes. One is actually open and on a signpost because it's in a public park, but they've fenced it off and all that. But a second one is not on their maps, and well, I don't know. I've never seen any modern photos, so that's why I'm just going out. You know what it's like. Go out, do the legwork, and see what you can find for yourself.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's how it's all done, folks. We look for the locations on foot and all that jazz. But
if only people knew the amount of time you spent on foot and just find nothing.
Yeah, it's fun, isn't it? It's fun going out to these places trying to find entrances and all that jazz. But if you're going further afield, further away, it's nice to have a little bit of information from folks and all that. Because
definitely. It does help, especially if you go off into the middle of Wales looking for a mine or something, and only to turn up to a patch of nothing, and then you've travelled all that way for nothing. So yeah, sometimes it does help, but then again, there is always the rule of try and look it up for yourself and do the legwork basically. Which, you guys are more than familiar with that.
Definitely done a fair share of that, ain't we, Chris?
Walking around miles to find something.
Walking around nowhere, yeah.
I think I've most...
When you do find it, you find that the way out is a lot quicker. Like, oh, there's a path to it. Didn't have to go.
The Sar Deep Shelter is a good one. So Sar Deep Shelter's got 2 open entrances. One is just you crawl through it. That's the way most people get in. The second one is, and we found this one first, so we went down it as an entrance, is you have to climb up and over and in, and then you land on what is essentially talcum powder because it's that fine, and then you just slide down. And then once you're inside, you realise, oh, there was a much easier way in. What am I doing?
Yeah, and there's loads of sheets of asbestos down there, so...
Not as much as Townsend, and I can say because we're not actually this. That doesn't give away what it is or where it is. So
Townsend,
and
wonder what that is.
There's no one else I think mad enough to dig that out. That's
I can think of one guy, and his name begins with P, but we won't go into that.
All right, yeah. The last when I was crawling out of that, the last time we went in there, Chris went first. I was the last one in, so I kept falling back on all the rubble, and I just couldn't get out. For that first bit, from the main tunnel up into the thing, you had to crawl in, didn't you, like that? And my back clipped to the ceiling, and a load of chalk fell on me.
Oh, yeah, no, we had a very similar thing. Whilst going down, there's a lot of rebar sticking out, so we got jabbed with that. But as I told Badger, I said, right, keep a distance just in case. And he didn't quite listen. And as I came out, and it's in my video, you can hear the rock fall, big chunk of chalk like that, fell down and hit him in the head.
Oh,
he was lucky
hell.
it wasn't. Yeah, he was lucky it wasn't a bigger bit of chalk.
Yeah, bloody hell. You've got to be so careful in these places.
I think,
Yeah.
to be fair, it was good to see that, but I'm quite glad it's sealed because someone would have ended up dying in there.
Yeah, there's very few places where I'll say, oh, I'm never going back there again. But it was nice to see, but the amount of asbestos, it's just dangerous.
Lynn Spout, never going back there again.
Yeah, you will.
We've all said that.
Yeah, I said that in
Fez will be
2007.
back.
Been there about 5 more times since then. Maybe more.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, it's that climb across. I just can't.
Just
Oh,
look
I
at it and you forget it's there, don't you?
Yeah.
Climb across
Yeah.
what? The rubble and the collapses?
No, it's when you go.
Bit you run
Down
up the slope where they used
Yeah,
to.
no, you go down the slope and then you've got to go across and up.
Oh, that's
It's
alright.
the-
That's the easiest bit, isn't it?
No, it's the across and up bit that bothers me.
Yeah, same there. It's the up
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah. If there wasn't any rope there, I'd hate that.
I don't think it's that bad. I think if you fell, you'd just be rolling for a while and the odd
You
bro-
die.
Hopefully not stab yourself on a bit of angle iron sticking up somewhere in the trees.
No, I don't reckon you die. I reckon you just hold the weeds on the way down. As
No.
it goes.
You die.
It's not like a sheer cliff, is it? It's not like a cliff or anything like that. It's just
It pretty
It's just
much
a
is a
little
sheer
hill.
cliff
It's a little
from
hill,
that
mate.
point.
it's just a little hill.
A little
It's
hill.
not a little hill.
It's a sheer cliff.
No, it's nothing
The
like
climb
that.
down isn't. That's fine. But from when you go across and up, if you fell from there, that's basically a sheer cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Fez on this one. Even if you just started tumbling, the velocity you'd pick up, given how long it is,
Yeah.
you'd smash your head in.
It's
Wouldn't
like-
be good.
You look down, you see people on the beach, and they're like little stick men. Like,
Yeah, that's a long way.
it
to
doesn't
fall.
look that far, but yeah, it's a long old way, isn't it? End of the day,
Yeah.
Lidden spout. But yeah, it's all mad, isn't it? All mad indeed. Cheers.
Ugh. Cheers.
Carlsberg, is that?
Yeah. Cheers. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
I've explained this many times in many scenarios, but yes, Carlsberg, essentially gnat's piss, but there's a reason for that, which is if you've been drinking since 1 in the afternoon, would you rather have Carlsberg or a real ale? If I want to enjoy my drink, I'll go for a Kentish ale every time. Scrimshander, Gold Star, anything like that. But if you're just enjoying yourself, this is a good way not to end up flat on your back.
Lagers and stuff like that. If you're having a house party or something like that, that's the stuff to drink 'cause it's cheap and
Yeah.
you can get it in the shops quite easy. I find like the ales and stuff like that in the shops, bottled or tin cans, are absolutely shocking. I don't like them at all. But the stuff you get in the pubs, like the old micro pubs and stuff like that, beautiful, yeah.
It's
But-
like the
I
beer festivals, isn't it? You go there and then it doesn't take long, and really you're just fucked. You don't.
Yeah, indeed.
You drinking that sort of stuff at home every day, you'd be dead in a week.
Yeah,
Ian's still alive.
Yeah, mate. This stuff.
yeah, but
I don't know.
he does it in moderation though. That's the key point.
Phew, do I? Bloody hell! Don't know when to stop.
He
know when to stop.
binges.
Apparently, one night I was here after I was chatting on house party or something like that. I got really drunk. It was like 1 in the morning or something. It was 2 in the morning. I watched Genesis live to 1980 on YouTube, and I started singing out loud. And the window was open and that, and it's fairly good to me, but you know, it's not, is it?
To everyone else, it sounded like a cat being strangled in
Yeah,
the street.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was good at the time, though. It's like that.
Yeah, there's very few pubs that do decent stuff these days, I'd say. I mean, my understanding is originally you're from Medway, aren't you?
I was born in Chatham, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was the case. So I do have one question to ask. Which
Shoot.
hospital?
All Saints, I believe.
Which year?
1985.
Oh, yeah, 1 year out. Yeah, I was born in the same hospital.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Mad, isn't it? Small world, isn't
Yeah,
it?
it did make me wonder.
So you could probably be delivered by the same midwife.
Yeah.
Potentially, yeah.
Is that hospital gone now?
Yeah. Oh, for years it's been completely levelled, and it's now a housing estate with a bad reputation.
Oh, no. A shame, isn't it?
It's the way it goes. I mean, All Saints was always the civilian version. Well, sorry, civilian version. The public hospital, whereby, because you've got to bear in mind, Chatham Maritime is called Maritime for a reason. It was a naval hospital.
Right.
That's why when you go to the hospital up there and you look at all the insignia and all the carvings and stuff up the walls and stuff, you can see it's got a deep military history. And as you go into the main entrance of Chatham Maritime Hospital, if you look at the roundabout, there's some very suspicious looking pipes in the middle of that, and I've been trying to have a look, but it's a 24-hour hospital, so it's not like you can go poking around.
What do you reckon, like service tunnels of some sort?
Well, I know for certain there's service tunnels, because a friend of one of my family members works there, and they've already said that they've been down to the basement level and they've seen the tunnels, but they're not allowed down there, so they can't tell me what's further down. Right. But yeah, there's loads around there, but yeah, it's a live site, so there's not.
That
really
makes it more interesting if they're not allowed down there. That just intrigues me more.
Well, the rumours are that there were links going under Luton from the hospital down to the dockyard. That's a very long tunnel. I'm sceptical about that. Yeah. There may have been tunnels going from the dockyard, sorry, not the dockyard, the hospital down to the Luton area, and then transport from there. But yeah, it's a long old tunnel to one. Medway's full of rumours. The biggest rumour, every fort's linked with a tunnel. It's like, no. If you look at the two furthest points, there's no way you'd be able to build a tunnel that long without ventilation and those ventilation pipes being known about. So, I don't know. But Medway's like Dover. It's full of rumours, full of history, and you just...
It's like
simple as that.
The Dover rumours, of the Western Heights. There's a tunnel that goes from the Western Heights under the town and up and joins to Dover Castle. Well, I've heard another one that
yeah, I'd heard that.
I've heard the longer one, Ian.
Yeah, I've heard the longer one. What, from Canterbury to Dover?
I've heard there's a tunnel. No, Canterbury to Eastry. Yeah,
it's mad, isn't it?
Something to do with the bishop escaping, or some crap like that goes under the cathedral all the way from Eastry to Canterbury.
That's the one I use every day. When I go to Canterbury, I always use that.
What is this? A crawling
Yeah.
style tunnel? Is it a walking tunnel?
It's all right.
Is it a wholesome cart?
Well, it'd probably be faster than the van, to be fair, but...
If there is such tunnels, if they do exist, they can't survive in good condition. They can't be lined and stuff like that. I'd see them as chalk line tunnels. If there was a possibility.
Yeah, they would be, because, we all know, the stuff built during the Napoleonic era, all the brick line stuff, that stuff's really strong. That's going to last for, 100, 200, 300 years plus. If you've got them built between forts, that's a very long run. It's quite expensive. I can't see that they would have lined them with brick. And if they didn't line them with brick, after this amount of time, you'd get sinkholes. So, and we've not seen that. So I think it's a load of rubbish.
Yeah.
I do know that there was a tunnel linking Fort Pitt to Del's Tower, because I actually found the tunnel. The only problem is they've repurposed it as a sewer, and the access point that me and Jake Boswell found. It's about 25, 30 foot deep, and the smell hits you the second you lift the manhole cover, and we'd have to put a gas meter down there. And as You'd want one of those plague masks where you could put the potpourri in the thing because it stinks. Yeah.
Madness, yeah. Well, me and Chris would probably just go through it, wouldn't it, Chris? Chris
No,
would
I
be going,
don't-
"Oh, you'll be all right. You'll be all right."
Draw the line really at sewers. I'm not really nah.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I've been in a couple and it was not intentional.
Yeah. What does number one fan think about sewers then?
I think I'd give it a go. Get some wellies on.
Depends on the depth of it, though, doesn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
at least is one thing. If you're getting like wader deep, I think you might think twice.
No, I don't know about that.
I think I might have to stick a couple of tampons up my nose or something. I'll be worried if they expand. Can't get them out.
Oh dear. That'd be funny, folks, wouldn't it? Funny comedy bit.
Yeah, funny thing is though, a lot of the sewers in this country have got really good Victorian architecture, but yeah, you do have to then battle with the fact that it's full of poop.
Yeah. Is it Brighton's got the ones you can go down like on tours, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, you can go down on tours. Yeah, you can book yourself in. It's near if you look at Google Maps, it's near the pier. Off to the left a little bit is where their entrance is, and yeah, you can go down there and book in, and they take you around the safe parts. Yeah.
Yeah. Want to go to those unsafe parts, folks?
Well, I may or may not have a map on my computer of all the manholes in.
Oh
Brighton.
I won't
Yeah,
say
I'd
anything
like
more on that one, folks. Jesus.
I would like to get lost in Chislehurst caves because they don't show you enough.
Oh, that's true, actually. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
massive.
We
Judging by the map, I don't know how much is accessible, but it's huge.
Yeah.
We did get told off quite a lot.
Yeah, I know.
Can you
Disappear.
click?
Number one fan.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was in trouble all the time. I had the same problem in the tour in Krakow and the salt mines. I had the same problem there. I kept getting in trouble.
Well, it don't matter.
See,
I suppose
the salt mines in Krakow are one of the things I really want to go and see.
Do you know what?
Krakow and Auschwitz-Birkenau.
Yeah, I've been to both like Auschwitz and the salt mine 3 times. When I first went, I thought the salt mines, it can't be that good. What's mines on salt mines? You know what I mean?
It's huge.
It's so impressive. It's like really good. It's really worth doing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, my martial arts instructor is from Poland. And he's from the region, so he's telling me all about it and all this, that, and the other. He was even giving me names of like people that could take me down there, discounted rates, and show me a bit more and stuff. So, yeah, I can't wait to get out there. But because, well, it's just first it's underground, and 2 it's just wicked engineering, especially for a
It's
salt
got the biggest underground cathedral or chapel, or whatever you want to call it, in the world. It's massive. It's mental. There's an interesting story, actually, I'll tell you. When they were digging out the mines, this was on the tour. So because of all the methane and the pockets of gas and stuff exploding and killing miners, what they did is if you had a life sentence in prison, I think you're going back 200-300 years ago, quite a while, they would give you, basically, you would go down there with a stick with fire on the end, just to seek out,
like a human fuse.
yeah, basically to go ahead of the miners to try and seek out these spots and burn them before it killed anyone. And if you survived a year, then you were allowed to be a free man, basically, after that year, because it was very unlikely you'd survive a year doing that.
Yeah.
What was the lifespan? What was the lifespan of doing that?
20 minutes.
Yeah, it was like a couple of months, I think they were saying. It wasn't long.
What was that? Second World War?
No,
It's got to be before then, isn't it?
it's before then, because they're using. I mean, they didn't really have the technology. They're probably looking at like 1900s. I don't generally remember the dates, but it's just a really interesting story that if you survived a year, that you were given to do this as a job, then you settle it out as a free man.
Yeah, that's quite.
To honest speak, would you risk it?
Well, if you've got life in prison, you're going to die in prison, then I can see the appeal, if I'm honest.
Bit of a gamble, but yeah, definitely definitely worth it.
I mean, back then it would have been grim. It wouldn't be like prisons nowadays, would it?
No.
I mean, you probably wouldn't have even died of natural causes in a prison. You'd probably die of disease or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you go to the old Russian prisons and stuff like that, they're quite brutal even today.
Yeah, that's how prison should be. You shouldn't be TV and all this shit. It's a holiday camp now.
It is, yeah. It is.
I'm not one for getting into politics on YouTube, but I will simply say that UK prisons are way too light-handed. They all get TV. They might as well just get breakfast in bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've worked in the in Maidstone prison briefly. It's Borough National Prison, and yeah, everything's there. It's crazy. It's just unbelievable. It is just like a holiday camp. Pool tables, every room, TVs. It's just like, really?
Yeah. I worked at Dover Immigration Removal Centre and that, and they had all the PlayStations and pool and ping pong and yeah. Oh, can't say too much about that, folks. Secret fact, isn't it?
People actually still play ping pong.
Yeah, what were they doing with the ping pong balls?
Right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I went into Sandwich House once to go and do the washing up down there, and they were playing Grand Theft Auto 3, I think it was, or 4. No, Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
Right?
Grand Theft Auto is a great game for
It is, yeah, but you know,
convicts to
you
be
got.
playing.
Well, you know, they were detainees, but towards that sort of era, I think they had foreign criminals there as well.
Canistella in one hand.
Yeah, they had some mush was standing outside the Romney house with his leg pulled up, and he was showing his leg, just one. I don't know if it's true or not, but someone said that's like a sign they're telling you that they've killed a man. I don't know how true that is, but that's what I was told.
You sure he didn't just have an itchy leg?
No, he was just standing there looking around, yeah, like a group of them. But
Depends upon the culture of the people inside. I mean, if
Yeah.
you look at the this is one thing I find really funny. You see, like, teenagers and stuff these days walking around with like their trousers halfway down with their boxers showing.
You mean like Matthew?
Yeah, yeah. But the thing is, what they don't understand is that's American prison culture, whereby if you walk around with your your trousers halfway down with your boxers showing,
right.
that's telling other inmates that you are available, if that makes sense.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So is it supposed to be
So
walking around like a gangster? It's all.
Yeah, they think it's gangster, but really they're just inviting people to explore a tunnel.
Oh dear, folks.
I'm just reading down the comments.
Right.
Loads of people say hi from all around the world.
How you doing, folks?
A couple of people have commented saying where they are in the world, it's a bit too early to start drinking. I mean, I don't think it's ever really too early to start drinking, but you know.
See how we go.
Depends what you're drinking.
Yeah, cup of tea, folks.
Gin, I need.
Question so far, really, Simon, when you're growing a beard?
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't intend to grow a beard, but I am quite lazy sometimes, and I won't shave for ages, so I end up with I mean, I've got a bit now, but I can't be doing with a beard. I'd look too much like my dad.
All right.
Can you grow a beard though? Have you got the? Is it like a full on?
Not like a manly Viking beard like you and Ian. No.
Mine just like takes over my face. Seriously, it's ridiculous.
I've just noticed that Chris is coming along. It's not quite Viking yet though, but let it go through.
He shaves it off,
reckon
he
he's
becomes
getting
a baby.
I started trimming it because I can't deal with it being like out here.
Yeah, but once you get through that stage of it being itchy, it's fine, isn't it?
Yeah,
And then
mine doesn't itch.
To our world, folk. Welcome to our world.
Ian, you'd look weird without a beard. You'd look a bit like a convict or a pedo, maybe.
All right, mate.
Shit, I forgot
Oh,
what
look,
I
my number one fan here. See what I mean, folks? Right,
Oh dear.
I'm gonna blacklist him now.
It's 2 p.m. in Canada.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I want to go to Canada.
You can
I
drink
really
at
do.
2 p.m.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine.
Saturday, innit?
Yeah.
I was drinking at 1:45.
Everyone seems to be drinking in this lockdown, folks.
Oh, it's so. I don't know whether you've done the same, but if you've walked down your road and looked at everyone else's recycling? Have you seen it's all just
I think I
beer,
have, yeah, I've
beer
seen some
cans
bits.
and wine bottles and everything?
Yeah,
It's
turning
because-
this,
yeah.
turning
Because
this.
people think it's a bit like a holiday when it was to start with, isn't it? Oh, I don't have to get up tomorrow. I can have a few beers. And I think as it's just passed, people are just going, oh, might as well have another beer.
On the
Yeah.
matter of beers, I ain't seen you take any sweets yet, Chris. So,
No, I am.
Oh,
I've got a beer assistant as well, so I keep getting top ups.
all right,
It's
go
good.
on, take a swig then. Show the folks. Sorted, folks. I
That's
gave
spirit.
Chris a load of homebrewing gear, folks, and he's still on the Fosters.
I sold it, remember? Right, Simon, why are you in your shed? I think we spoke about this, but we weren't online at the time.
That's the studio.
yeah. This is Subex HQ. I've said that on our live streams before. You know, it's not very big, but it does the job.
You should.
And-
That'd be
and-
funny. You could have it underground. Imagine that. Like a not the
When you
shed.
you can sleep in it.
Yeah.
I've considered hiring a mini digger to dig a big hole in my garden and just build something, but
After a few beers,
got-
mate, you can hand dig that. Make yourself
I
an
was-
REC post.
I assume you've seen the series of Colin Furze.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes, no, that's the ultimate bunker. But
He's a
Yeah.
lucky
what I
guy,
learned
isn't he?
from that is you need planning permission, which
Yes,
is why
I
I'll probably
do.
get in
Yeah.
trouble here. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, I know it was obviously paid for by Amazon, but how much did that cost? Was it
More
paid
more
for it?
than any of us can afford. Let's put it
Yeah.
out.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
that's indestructible. You see the amount of concrete you
Yeah.
poured over it.
Yeah, and
Pumping
the
it on,
thickness
wasn't he?
The thickness of them sheets of steel, and there's like two of them lowering in the sheets of steel. That's big money in there.
Yeah, I mean it wouldn't survive a direct strike, but it'd certainly be okay if you nuked the neighbours.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Got our new favourite channel, isn't it, Chris? What's it called?
I don't know. The one from
I heard it the other day. I heard what they call it.
Simon should know because probably he's one of his mates from over there.
Kerosan English.
Oh, Kriya-san.
Kriya-san,
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I do know him. He is a friend of one of the stalkers that I went to Chernobyl with.
Oh, right.
He originally started on YouTube doing all these crazy electrical experiments, which honestly, look at the old videos. I'm
Yeah.
surprised he's not dead.
Yeah.
He sets up like a Tesla coil in his living room, and there's like bolts of lightning shooting everywhere all around them, and they're like
It's
just
like
like,
the neighbours are
God.
complaining.
There was that
Yeah.
one. I don't know what they was really messing around with because I had a few too many beers when I watched it. But where that guy sitting there and they're connecting up to the machine so he can like fire sparks at the wall.
that's the guy.
And
Yeah,
then they're
yeah.
like, I'll be quiet because the neighbours have come round.
Mm.
So you must be sitting in the neighbour's house and there's all these like bangs and pops and it's like what?
Yeah.
Lights flickering. Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. I mean, I'll tell you what. If you're talking about that guy, I can let you in on a little unknown politics when it comes to Ukraine. Kriya-san, there's a guy. I'm just gonna get his thing up here. One of the guys I went to Chernobyl with. He's actually doing. He's on YouTube too, and he does really good videos. Not all of them have English subs, but even if they don't, they're really interesting. And him and Kriya-san, I can't pronounce it properly. They had a massive falling out because the Kriya-san guy, when
Is he the young guy? The young looking.
he's the electric. Yeah. That's Stas. Stas is the young guy. I'll show you. Here he is. So Stas, which I'll try and hold it up so you might be able to see. That's him. That's
Right.
the guy that's one of the two guys that I went stalked into Chernobyl with.
Is he that guy there? Does he not show his face? He blows his face and stuff.
No,
there
no.
is- there's one.
That guy. That's the funny thing. Although it's illegal in Ukraine, no one's secretive about it. They don't really care because unless
No.
you're actually caught on site, no one cares. But what happened was the guy I met with and that electrical creosote guy.
Yeah.
The creosote guy went into Chernobyl, went into Pripyat, went up one of the apartments, and they fully refurbished it. painted the walls, did the carpets, the ceilings, the rugs, everything, and it looked pristine. Talking to my guys, the police and the authorities and other rival stalkers found this place, and they basically trashed it, burnt it out, everything like that. And then they accused my guy of doing the damage. So they went in, and I'll have to send the post to you, but they went to one of the outer kindergartens, and they basically refurbished it, my guy, and made it how it would have been back in 1986. Really interesting stuff. I mean, the stuff those guys get up to is absolutely just
It's like lighting
I
up,
like
lighting the lights and stuff on, by batteries and stuff like that. Like a whole corridor in that school, wasn't it? They lit up the strip lights.
Yes, yeah, that was the Kriya San guy. Yeah.
Madness, yeah. When I saw that, I was like, bloody hell.
Oh, yeah, I mean, a lot of the stuff out there still works. It's just that it doesn't have a power supply.
Yeah. It's all Russian.
Even though it's next to a working nuclear reactor, which, they've shut all the reactors down now, but there is power being supplied because Chernobyl's now a tourist town. So, yeah.
Yeah. We should have done that a few years back before this HBO series went out. It's like
don't get me started on HBO. I hate HBO for that.
Yeah.
We'd been planning our trip for so long, and then HBO came out before we flew out and made it massively popular, which from our perspective made it more difficult because there's loads of tourists visiting. It's like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's not so much.
Yeah, I was one.
Yeah. It's not so much a dead town anymore, is it?
I still reckon what number one fan said about go for a couple of days, get a proper tour guide, show around and stay there. Because after like you said about your experiences, I think that's probably the way to go. Maybe then look at going in by yourself or whatever. But I think maybe start with a proper tour.
See what we're looking at.
Yeah.
Analyse and everything like that.
We didn't see many other groups when I was there. I mean, when I was there, the guy did say to us he expected this year to be the biggest increase because of the time it came out on HBO. He said they saw, I think it was 7% increase in tourism, but this year would have been the mad year. But obviously now with this virus, things will change. But yeah, I think with the private tours, you'll get to go later and earlier as well. So it's definitely worth it.
Oh yeah, I mean. Again, because I've got a little bit of inside information, the reason why you didn't see any other tour groups is because the authorities tell the tour groups to stay away from each other.
Oh, okay.
Why that is, I don't know, but that's why they do it.
It's a difference in price and stuff like that. And if you bump into another tour and they've paid X amount of pound less.
No, the funny thing is, all of the tour operators, they all know each other. They all charge roughly about the same price, but there's no real difference as to who you go with. But yeah, one of the things that I kind of regretted when I went out is now when I went and hiked it, and I said it to you in person when we were down in Dover scaring hell on earth. I said, I'm glad I did it, but I'll never do it again. My mind's wandering now. I'm want to go back out and I want to hike it again. So what I would probably end up doing is do the hike for 4 days, see it, get back to Kiev, and then go on the official tour because it gives you a bit of both.
Yeah.
But again, and the one thing, and to you guys and to anyone watching, what I'd say is, I mean, I would not go in illegally unless you
through the hole in the fence, folks.
Yeah, no, honestly, it is more brutal than you can ever understand. I mean, when we got to Pripyat, we were severely dehydrated and we didn't know where our next sip of water was coming from. Honestly, really, just I think the mental aspect got us more than physical.
And the thing is, you got to be careful as well with like radiation. The tour guide was telling me that lots of people do it, but if you don't know where you're going, and if you go through parts of near or through the Red Forest, he said, with a few hours you're in there, you're probably going to pick up a life's worth of radiation. in them few hours. So you've really got to be careful what ways you go.
You don't think that's
yeah.
scaremongering?
No,
no.
it is.
It could be, but then I'm on his tour, so I think, well, I'm not asking him, should I do a tour, should I go alone? He's trying to sell it to me. I'm already on that tour, so I just feel, does he really have a need to?
Yes and no. Again, I mean, I've got a little bit more inside information. If you are lucky enough to get a tour guide who is honest, and you ask them, roughly 80% of the official tour guides are actually ex-stalkers, and they go in illegally. And you've got to bear in mind, you can't treat these people like idiots. I mean, they carry, dosimeters, geiger counters, whatever, with them whilst they go through. So they know how much radiation they're getting. They know the bits where to just stay away from. So it's so many. I mean, so many comments I got on our video was, "Oh, you're going to get cancer, you this, that, and the other." It's like, you do realise that off camera, right? We're taking our boots, we're taking the Geiger counters, we're testing every part. Hate to say it, but you run the Geiger counter over your ass because you've been sat for half hour having a break hiking, right? It's not as if we're just gung ho, shooting your pistols in the air kind of thing. It's like, people just don't understand, and when people don't have an understanding, they post stupid comments.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because assuming you've got tours there, which are letting you get up close to this sort of stuff, I can't see how it's slightly more radioactive, slightly further out, than it's going to be right in the centre.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, further out, we were detecting nothing higher than you'd get in the middle of central London. Yeah. I mean, 0.2 microsieverts per hour at best. It's only when you get into the Red Forest and certain spots in Pripyat that it spikes. It genuinely isn't that bad. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's 100% safe. I mean, I wouldn't go snorting lines of soil. Yeah, you can camp there, just don't camp on dodgy bits, if that makes sense. But yeah,
they were saying a lot of the buildings were still quite radioactive because when they washed them, they forgot to wash the roofs. So when it rains, it all dripped back down all over the building again. So it was kind of pretty much pointless what they did in the first place.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, cross-contamination was a massive issue, but ultimately, the liquidators did a massively good job. I mean, it's not been in the media much, but for the past 5 weeks, there's been huge forest fires.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, well, you guys would know, but a lot of people won't. And pretty much the whole of the Red Forest got burnt down. And that's the most radioactive part of the forest in the whole zone. And it was kicking off all this radioactive material. And our media just didn't report on it. They'd rather tell you to stay at home. Which, don't get me wrong, is an important message. But, you do need to report the other news at the same time.
Yeah.
We all know with the media, though.
They like to scaremonger. There's constant scaremongering with the virus.
It has to be what they want you to know. This is what we want you to think is really important, rather than actually interesting news.
Before the getting into it, folks, before the coronavirus happened, it was all about Iran. There's going to be a third world war, a nuclear war with Iran. Get your nuclear bunkers ready, folks. That's all I kept hearing. And all of a sudden that went, so they must have stopped planning that, and then it was just coronavirus. Are they still going to nuke us, but we're just not hearing it? I don't know, folks. It's 100%
I think what stopped a lot of that, though, is the fact that they accidentally shot down a civilian plane. I think if they didn't do that, then I think things may have escalated, because Trump just doesn't give a shit, does he? He's like, my button's bigger than your button.
Well, we're getting a bit political here, folks, aren't we?
Yeah, take it from me, right? I went to the Brexit rally on the day that the UK left the European Union, and I tried to film it as impartially as possible, except for the end. I may have given it away, but I got so much stuff. I had one subscriber really lay into me, just going, oh, so this is how you think, blah, blah, blah. You've got to bear in mind, you've got to be careful with politics because people don't listen to what you're saying. They make an assumption and they label you. So politics is best left off of YouTube. Trust me.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Trust me.
Yeah. Open-minded about politics.
Well, that's how you should be.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. You should be open-minded, and it's about free speech. You should listen to both sides, and you, even if you don't agree with them, you should allow them to speak so you can debate. If
And
you
everybody's
don't,
happy. So
yeah, exactly. But if you don't, and you try and suppress their speech, it drives it underground, where it stagnates and becomes something truly bad. It's what happened with the Nazi regime. They tried to silence them. They went underground, formed a political party, rose up into the public eye, and then started to gain momentum. I mean, the one thing that drives me nuts is the old saying of if you ignore history, you're doomed to repeat it. And frankly, we're great at suppressing history. Not a lot of people actually remember what happened and the reasons why, and it drives me nuts, if I'm honest. Especially Second World War, Cold War, that kind of stuff. It's like,
you're talking about the Holocaust and all that. I saw somewhere that there were the German schools and stuff like that. They were asking pupils, "What's the Holocaust?" And a lot of them were saying they don't know. They don't know what it is, or so that situation there that needs to be told more of that serious, sickening thing that they did.
You can understand why the Germans would be more reluctant to teach it, but even so, it's like enough time has passed whereby you would hope they'd have the understanding that the rest of the world is like, well, you've moved on from that and you're part of the greater society. But unfortunately, given how catastrophic World War II was and what the Germans did during their time, I do understand how a lot of Germans still hold regret and remorse and want to shy away from it, which it's a shame, but I don't think anyone really holds the Germans responsible for that period of time, because it's way in the past.
A lot of
Simon,
the criminals are all dead.
Did you see the stuff in Chernobyl? The war for the Russians, obviously it was Russian occupied then, was 1941. A lot of their signs said 1941 to 1945. That's how they taught. That's when the war started. When they were invaded, apparently they weren't involved up until 1941. This is what they portray. You're not seeing that some of the memorials around. You may have seen different stuff to me in Chernobyl. It's 1941 to 1945.
Yeah, you've got to bear in mind I didn't see any memorials because the memorials are close to official stuff, and we were trying not to get caught.
Yeah, it was telling us basically it's because they didn't class it as a war until they were invaded, although they were involved. But yeah, for them it was 1941 to 1945.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, and this is why I've said if you're going to visit, you've got to do the official tour as well, because I missed out on so much because I didn't go there during the day. I didn't have granted.
Really, you didn't see it during the day. You only went at night.
Well, you can't buy a tour guide, can you?
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll tell you start to finish, but very quickly. So we flew out there, arrived at about 4 a.m. We didn't book a hotel for that night, so we spent the night on the streets of Kiev, waiting for it to get waiting for it to get light. So we spent most of our time in McDonald's because it had heating, and then it was coming up to about midday, and our guy contacted us, was like, "Oh, do you mind doing 1 o'clock? We're running a bit late," and we were like, "We've been freezing for hours." So I'm like, yeah, that's fine, it's fine. But when we got back to Kiev, we didn't. I wish we'd done the official tour, but what we did instead, unfortunately, one of the members of my expedition's wife does not watch IKS, therefore I can probably admit it here. And if any of my subscribers are here, please don't put this in the comments, so I'm going to delete it. But we went to a place called the Rio Club. Are you familiar with that, Fez? Come on.
No, I generally ain't.
No?
No. Where was it? In
You
Kiev?
can admit it, mate.
Yeah,
admit
yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's like the most famous strip club in Kiev.
I went with my wife, didn't I?
Oh, well, there you go. Oh,
Yeah.
that's why. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, we just went in there. Funny thing is, what we went in, and the guys in the door, were like, have you been here before? But obviously said it in Ukraine, and I recited what I had learned. I was like, "Vy rozmawiaєте англійською," and they were like, "Ah, okay, you're English." And we're like, yeah, no, we speak English. Come on in. Took us down, and then we realised that it's a mob-run club. And the boss comes down and he sits with us, and he's like, "Right, you know how this works?" We're like, "Nah, not in this country, mate." He's like, "It's fine. Drinks are free. Do what you want, but don't be violent, and just have fun, basically." Honestly, right? I'm telling you, gang-run establishments are the best in the world. Their hospitality is brilliant. So if you go abroad, don't be afraid of the mafia, right? They're really nice to the public. They really are. Absolutely brilliant. So yeah, that's where we spent the last couple of days when we were in Kiev. It's a nice city too.
Do they want like anything in return? What I don't understand that.
Oh well, you pay for
Services.
Okay, so right. Chris is laughing his head off. Right, so the culture in Kiev is that there's something called a takeaway. If you go to a strip club, you can probably put two and two together. Now, none of us did that because the statistics are that 80% of the workers in that industry are HIV positive. Now, not that we do that anyway, it's not really our interest, but to go to a bar, have a few beers and look at some nice things, yeah, quite good. So yeah, that's how they make their money, yeah, tips and stuff like that, and
Right.
So it's not that bad. But Kiev as a city, wicked. Underground stuff, you love it, right? Because we went from our hotel. We just wanted to cross the road, and we saw a little set of steps that looked like it was just like an underpass to get to the other side of the road. No, massive underground complex with like arcades, bars, restaurants, clothes shops, everything. Really amazing. Honestly, they've got a really good underground culture there.
Did you go to their tube stations? The longest, it's mental.
Yeah, it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be the deepest in the world.
Yeah.
Now, North Korea claims that theirs is 2 meters deeper, but it's North Korea, so they're probably bullshit. Almost. I'm aware that I'm not going to swear on Ian's channel.
So I do it all the time. Don't worry.
Yeah, I know you do. I noticed that on the what was the other live stream I was watching the other day?
He loves it. He loves it when I swear all the time.
Yeah, it gives him more editing to do.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He should just edit me out completely.
I was going to say, it's going to end up with sections of RKS videos just being like silent movies.
Yeah.
So we'll move them out, but nothing comes out because it's all just like edited out. Beep, 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 beep.
Charlie Chaplin, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good play. We need to do when this lockdown's over. There's a lot we need to do, to be fair, isn't there?
The thing is, there's never enough time because it's like we work, and then we arrange something, then you book a different week off work, or Ian's at work.
This time wasn't my fault. This stupid lockdown. We had it all planned.
Yeah, and
then you got the dates wrong this time, not me.
Yeah. And then there's the other problem, of course, because Ian works most of the time Monday to Friday, so we can't really go away until early Saturday morning. And then normally we do that, and you're working because you work 7 days a week.
Yeah, we need to.
There is issues.
There are a few, but we'll get there as soon as this fucking lockdown's over. As Ian's not here, I swear.
This what?
No, it's there. Have you not been watching his screen? With the green screen, he looks like Predator. He's been dropping in and out.
Oh no!
There he is. See,
hey,
Simon, because you're on a laptop, you can do the same thing. Because it's not actually a green screen. You can select pictures for your background.
Yeah, no, I've got the software to do it, but I'm in the HQ, so I don't mind. Everyone knows the HQ.
It was just quite funny because we were playing around with it earlier, and it's like, wow, you could just have any old picture. It just some of them look. I've put some up, but some of them look a bit creepy because I move my head and like Ian appears in the background, which is a bit.
What is that?
Well, you can have moving images as well.
I don't get why you can't do it on the phone.
We had this with Zoom because my computer's too old on Zoom. It won't let you put a different background on. But with this, I can change my picture, so I'm happy. And you've got a phone, so you're too tight. Just go and get a laptop, and then it's all good.
Now, apparently it works on iPhones.
Oh, fuck iPhones, they're bollocks, they are.
Well, look, I now have my business update phone, don't I?
Yep, I gave Chris that, 100%.
Still cracked?
It might be cracked, but unlike the other one, it turns on.
Yeah, that helps.
It was
If it works, it works.
a couple of years when I said I'd give that to you, and 2 years later, folks, there it is. Hello?
Well,
Sorry, no, I'm reading comments at the same time.
as Ian's gone for a break, give me 30 seconds.
All right, mate. Well, you going around the back of the shed?
I might as well. It's less distance to travel.
I would just just make a hole, drill a hole so you can just pop it out and pee there.
I am not making a glory hole.
You might as well get some gin, folks.
Yeah, I need some gin actually. I got this that new Gordon Sicilian lemon. Oh, it's honestly it's definitely kind of enough to make you an alcoholic. It's so nice.
Well, Fez, why don't you go get yourself a drink?
Yeah.
Adrian has turned around. Ian, what are you drinking?
This is the homebrew, folk, Adrian.
Right, I'll be back then.
This is that stout I made.
Clive has just said, well, Simon's HQ looks a little bit like a dog kennel.
Yeah.
Bearing in mind what he was mentioning earlier, if his other half or wife or whatever is watching, he'll probably be sleeping in that tonight.
Yeah. There he is, folks. God, it does look small, doesn't it?
It looks bigger until he climbs in.
Yeah. The Subex HQ does look quite big, but when you're crawling into it, it shows its size.
Yeah, the door is about, I don't know, 3 feet high. It's a midget house.
Someone has commented and said it does look like a dog kennel, and we did just make a reference to you might be sleeping in that later after what you were saying.
Yeah, probably right.
Also,
They're quite cosy with a sleeping bag, folks.
You have been asked, have you got another microwave yet?
No, I don't have another microwave, but the one that the blue I took it apart and I fixed it. So the magnetron now works. So this time I'm gonna put gunpowder in it again, but this time it's gonna have compression so that it explodes.
That guy's video, that Korea?
Yeah.
He puts a strip. He opens the door, holds the door open with connectors, and puts a strip light near it.
And turns the strip light on by sticking the end of the microwave.
Yeah.
How safe is that to try? Because funnily enough,
not very.
Funnily enough, I have a microwave in my garden, and after watching yours, it was like, oh, I've got ideas. And then after watching his, I was like, oh, I've got
even better ideas.
Yeah, I mean, there's things that when I did that, I've got quite a long garden, so I put it on a massive extension lead well away, just in case. But if you leave the door open and jam the safety button, you do run a massive risk, because you have to understand as to how microwave radiation is emitted from the device. Honestly, best thing to do, most entertaining one, is just get a bit of toilet paper, scrunch it up, put it in the middle, set fire to it, close the door and turn it on, because then you get plasma.
Yeah.
Superheated gas. Yeah. Yeah, really entertaining. Or a CD.
Yeah.
CD, yeah.
See, eggs are supposed to explode, aren't they?
Yeah, they do. That's why I deliberately didn't do it, because I didn't want to deal with a load of egg everywhere.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
What about
Beautiful.
Thank you.
I was going to microwave with a lithium-ion battery, but I never got round to it
Oh yeah,
because
battery would be good.
yeah, the magnetron died. So, but now it's working again. Maybe I can do that.
Well, you try round 2 then, and then whatever doesn't work in your round 2, let us know. And then we'll try round 3 with the one I've got here.
Well, we can
Oh, there you go then.
take it
Yeah.
round yours, can we? Come round.
Well, as long as you keep 6 foot away and it is part of your daily exercise, it's okay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that, folks. Obey by the rules.
Simon, just going back to Chernobyl, how many miles did you have to walk a day? Do you remember roughly?
It varies. So for the first day and the last day, it was about 38 kilometres in the first day and the last day. That's getting in and getting out. The rest of the kilometres were between the two in between.
38 in one day?
Yeah.
That makes your 8 miles look a bit shit, to be fair.
Yeah, that does.
Hey, I wish it was just 8 miles, honestly. I mean, I don't know whether you've seen them, but I did I don't think I posted them to our main Instagram feed, but I posted them to my personal one. And yeah, it was me literally. You could take the skin on my foot and just peel it like a glove.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, honestly, that's why when I go back and do it again, now that I've got the knowledge that I had that I didn't have then, I'm changing so much. Yeah, because I know what it's like, and it's brutal.
I was going to say this to you earlier. It's like, when you go to a place for the first time, you get a feel of it, and then when you come away from it, then you edit that footage, and then you look into it more. Then it's like you go back with a even more sort of understanding. It's like every time you go back to a location. Me and Chris have been back to certain locations a couple of times, haven't we? And it's like every time we're it's you get better, and yeah. So if you do another trip back to there, it won't be the same as your crazy first trip because it can only get better.
Well,
that's
it.
Your mistakes, and you know what you can improve on, and which ways you can go that are better. And
I mean, admittedly, our first video was quite lacking, and that was because after the first. I mean, it only took about 3 hours for me to realise that this is so physically exhausting that I can't film much because your mind's not on it.
Sorry, just got to take some Lucozade.
I don't think I could do it.
Hey?
Fez will back me up on this one, right? Energy drinks in Ukraine when you go in the shop, crazy, isn't it?
What? How many there are?
No, the security.
Don't think I bought any.
Really? They've got some really good Russian ones with a big bear with a warning symbol. But no, you know those tags you get in the supermarkets for like spirits and stuff?
Yeah.
They've got no security tags on the alcohol. They've got them all on the energy drinks.
What?
Yeah, it's really crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, you would have needed them more than me.
Well, we'd recovered by then because we've got back to the hotel and had some water. Honestly, I've never appreciated water more in my life.
That's the worst thing. Dehydration is the worst thing, isn't it?
I don't think I could do it, to be fair. 38 kilometres, I think it's just, not possible.
It is. What did I do the other day? I ran 10.5 miles without stopping.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'd die.
I'd die.
My knees are still buggered up, but yeah.
Did you not see what Tom put on the group chat earlier? He said, "I think Ian's going to start IKS Fat Club."
Yeah.
Who's in the comic strips? There's one called Bonehead and Foil, and he's got like a fitness club sort of thing, and they're all called Knobs, and it's like the club's called Knobs, and on the back of the tracksuits it says Knobs. And they're running in a line, and it all says Knobs on the back. It's quite made me laugh.
Oh, I've not
comic
seen
strips.
That one.
Rick Mail and Adrian Edmondson and Dawn French, Jennifer Sanders, and all that. Classic 1980s.
Old school classics, yeah.
Right, so you talk about the filters.
Oh yes, no, that's right. So
Got one of these, folks. Harmless little green filter for an S10 gas mask.
That's it. So a couple a couple of days ago, I may have been on eBay whilst I'd had one or two beers, and I won an auction for really cheap, and I thought it was a reproduction Russian GP5 gas mask. When it turned up, it's actually a genuine one from 1971. There's even the date stamps in there.
Right. It's quite funny, isn't it? The little bags that they come in. It does. It looks
Oh,
quite
I tell you
cheap.
what, you can't. Oh, you can't undo. Oh, it takes the eye holes for the buttons are stupid. But yeah, got the gas mask, which next weekend when I go for my shopping, my social distancing shopping, I'm gonna wear this down at the big supermarket just for a laugh. I've got to do it. I'm gonna
film it.
Yeah. I'm gonna film it, and I'm gonna have because obviously you've got the hose to come off of the bottom. I've got to go around the supermarket in that just for a laugh.
Where did you get that?
I won an auction on eBay, and it was advertised as a replica, but when it turned up, it's actually genuine surplus from 1971. But yeah, part of that is because the guy's listing basically said 100% safe, blah blah blah, and I was reading reviews because he sold them before, and I was reading the reviews, and they were like, oh yeah, no, my kids love this, they think it's really funny. And when it turned up, it's a genuine GP5 filter, like what Ian's got there. Yeah.
Got the marks
This
on
thing,
it.
hold on. Yep, same as yours. Yeah. So this one's 1971. Now, everyone realised pretty early on, from late 60s, that asbestos is not good for you. So immediately, a lot of the Western countries stopped using asbestos in gas mask filters. The Soviets didn't. They reduced it, but they didn't. And what you'll find, there is a video online. If you there's a British guy that did a really good video where he put a can opener, because you can get a can opener on the bottom side, and just go around the edge. And he took the thing to bits whilst wearing his own respirator. And what you've got is in the top layer, kind of here, you've got a particulate layer. Yeah, so the bit you can see there on yours, Ian, down the can, that's the charcoal layer. So You've got a little thin charcoal layer, and then the bottom you've got the particulate layer. The particulate layer, that's got up to 4% blue asbestos in it.
Blue?
Yes, no, the really bad stuff.
Pure.
Yeah, the really bad stuff. So
I realised it was the really bad stuff.
Do you want a
yeah,
filter,
no,
Chris? And a gas
That's
mask?
Yeah.
mined in Australia. Or we used to be mined in Australia, didn't we?
Ian was running around the other day with that on the lockdown.
Come on, folks. It's only
Well-
bestos, isn't it? It's not going to give you a thing, is it? Bestos.
If you ran around for like 6 months permanently sucking through it, yeah, it's probably going to do you some damage. But if you do it for 10 minutes, I mean, this is one of the things I'm sure you get a lot in the comments, which is, oh, asbestos, you're going to get cancer, you're going to die. It's like, no, you don't understand how asbestos works. You have to be working around it, and you know the fibres in the air, and
Yeah, but
this, that,
some
and the
people
other.
say that one tiny little fibre, little tiny hook, hooks onto the lungs, and that's your lot.
Well,
Yeah, a little fibre hooks
I
on.
think it
yes,
also depends on the person you are. Some people are more sensitive to that stuff. Their body's more sensitive than others.
Well, that's it. I mean, yes, you know, one little fibre and a hook hooks on, it will damage that little tiny part of the lung, but it's too small. The people that suffer from asbestosis, they're people that have worked with it in the industry back in the day when they were just cutting it up and there's dust in the air and stuff. And
Laughing
even people
and having a fag at the same time.
exactly, yeah. I mean,
Happens, doesn't
I
it?
don't know.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Someone who doesn't go down tunnels with asbestos is probably better off than us, but we're still better off than people that worked with it, and we're still better off than a lot of people. So
It's not like
yes,
we go
it's
down
an
there
exa-
sort of sweeping up and all that, is it? It's minimal.
well, that's it. Yeah.
Minimal.
This is why I do find it funny, and especially people that don't understand how asbestosis takes place. It's, you know, you do get a lot of funny comments.
It's a lot of people trying to scaremonger as well. Again, you know, big like of that word, scaremongers.
Simon, someone has asked, I don't know if you know, is the GP7 the same?
No, it is slightly different. The GP7 is a revised design. Basically, it's a slightly different shape, and basically the GP5's got two one-way valves, one for in, one for out, and they revised them because they found that the exhale valve wasn't quite as secure as they thought it was. It's still reliable and you could still use it today, but it's not as good as it could have been, so they revised it. So that's the difference as far as I know.
What about filter wise? Would that be the same filter?
It depends upon when the mask was manufactured. If it was manufactured after 1993, then you could argue that it's safe, but anything earlier than that, no, don't inhale through the
Is that the
filter.
cut-off then? Is it 93 the cut-off?
93 is kind of when the Western world realised what they were doing and kind of went, oh, put a bit of pressure on, you shouldn't be doing that.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Mad, isn't it? It is mad.
Oh, yeah. It's I mean, yeah.
You know,
what you
a device for breathing through, folks, you know.
Kills you.
Let's say about Second World War gas masks as well, like civilian gas masks.
Yeah, see, my knowledge isn't quite as high, but I do have a civilian British gas mask. I can't remember which model it is, but I have it. I have it here somewhere. But I own one of those as well, and I bought it when I was a kid. And as a kid, I just put it on. Off you go. Oh, isn't this
the same? I did
It's
the
only
same. I took
now.
mine to school, and all the kids were trying it on, folks.
yeah, no, I know what you mean. So same here. I'd worn that thing so many times, and when you look back and you look at how much asbestos is in that thing, you're like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah.
Is yours still preserved then? The rubber, mine's totally rotten.
Yeah, no, the rubber on mine is surprisingly good. The only thing that's suffered is, the nose piece that's like a flat valve.
Oh no, mine's
I'm gonna look it up.
yeah,
Mickey
mine's
Mouse Kids one.
mine's not a kid's one. No,
No, this was the civilian.
let's have a look. I'll get it up here. Look.
Right, so now everyone's watching, everyone looking at their phone.
Yeah, that's it.
Keep them entertained, folk.
Ah, that one. Oh, come on, this one. This is the one I've got. See that one.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
mine's. It looks like it, but where is it? It's all showing your one.
Someone on here has just commented, miles high. In the 90s, I worked restoring railroad cars. My job was to go underneath and unwrap the white asbestos wrap from the pipes. No mask, lots of dust.
Yeah, that's not a good job.
But even then, in the 90s, it wasn't really such a big deal. Is that World War II? Oh,
You know that one?
it's hard to tell because you keep disappearing into your background.
Really? That can't be World War II. That looks too modern with the full kind of visor setup.
No, World War Two.
You sure?
Really?
Yeah. Have you seen that one?
I'll have to look that one up.
Let me. Shall I send it to you?
Yeah, send it over. I'll have a look. I'll see if I can find one. Although I'll tell you what, if you want to see one, Fort Luton. You know Fort Luton?
Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of years back, Fort Luton reopened itself as a museum, and it's the smallest fort in Medway, but the two little tunnels they have, they've done so much with it. The best use of space. They have got so much World War II memorabilia down there. It's unbelievable. And their gas mask section is amazing. So it wouldn't surprise me if they've got one of those down there. Really, really good.
Yeah, I sent you the link. I don't know if it's more of a teenager style one. I'm not sure.
It's probably China, and it has nothing to do
It's
with
not
World War
Chinese,
II.
mate.
The Chinese.
They didn't produce anything back then, did they? For like.
I don't know if any of you have noticed, but if you jump on eBay, the later ones, like the more up to date ones, and even the current issue ones, they're doing silly money on eBay.
Yeah, the S10s are going for stupid money. I mean, 200 quid the last one I saw.
Wow.
Yeah.
A couple of friends of mine have got S10s, and I said to them, I went, if you want to sell, now's the time
Now's
to sell,
the
because
time.
you could sell
Yeah.
it for a profit, and then once it's all over, buy another one, and you've still made a profit.
I think mine
Yeah.
cost like 20 quid. I've got an S10.
Oh, you've got an S10.
Hmm.
Yeah, good gas mask those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can I have it, Ian?
Do you want to lend? Yeah, I was going to say. Do you want to
yeah.
lend?
Lend it to us, and we'll
Yeah, can I?
give it
I've
back
got
later.
asthma. Can I borrow it?
I don't mind. I'll borrow it for about.
You can
6
borrow it. You've got to put that on it though, and breathe heavily through it.
No. I'll borrow it for 6 months, and then you can have one back.
Oh, not 1939.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I must admit, I'm not familiar with
That's
that
what
one.
I thought you was going to show me, something like that.
Yeah. No, the civilian one I've got was massively produced, and I've not seen that one. It's obviously definitely different from the military one that was on the front lines, but
Yeah.
no, it looks familiar, but I've not seen that one, and it doesn't look as if that filter is original because it's got that white rim to it. It doesn't.
Yeah, mine's got
I don't know.
tape around it. I don't know
Yeah.
whether they might have took asbestos out of it.
I've just been sent the same link link from Tom, and like Simon says, the filter, the tape round, it's the wrong colour.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
probably
it doesn't look right.
Yeah. So maybe the asbestos has been taken out. So maybe all the kids are not breathing through it, folks. All fine.
Yeah, 39 to 45.
Right, can you change your camera angle, folks? Because that's no good.
He's sideways.
Yeah.
Well, do you know, I said to him earlier about turning it round because it's really irritating. If he had it on the normal sort of landscape, then it would fit neater in the screen.
I'll tell you what you can do. Stop this complaining, Ian, and buy me a laptop.
You've got a laptop, in you?
No?
Thought you had one. Apple one.
No, well, I've got one that I bought in 2008 and that I haven't turned on in about 3 years.
Oh right. I thought you had all that stuff.
Ian, your
Right.
mask might be, if this is the same link, a KN95.
Oh right.
That does sound familiar.
No, it's in the attic at the moment, I think, and it's rotting. So there's not much you can do about that for that. I think putting it in the attic was probably not good for it. But
No. If it's leather or something, I don't really know what they're made of, but maybe some sort of leather, sort of that stuff, the restorer stuff, to
no,
make it.
I mean it's gone. The parts of it have, shriveled up the rubber, and gone really like brittle and
Where it's
cracked.
not been used, it's
Yeah.
just like dried up.
But the S10, that's quite an old I got that like 10 years ago, and it's still perfect condition. If any buyers, 200 quid.
Yeah.
Anyone?
I know someone with the newer type, the GSR, and I did consider that it might be a good idea to let them know it's a good time to sell it, to be honest, because they're doing good money as well.
Right.
Oh yeah, no, the GSRs are doing really well, but the problem is the GSR takes a bespoke filter, whereas if you look at the S10 and a lot of the older masks, they take standard NATO threads.
Yeah, this
whereas-
Russian one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Screws
it's
right
40
on.
mil.
See, I think you can buy a later filter for that one that's safer.
Yeah, I've
use
already. So because I want to go shopping in my gas mask, I already ordered and it got delivered today a modern 40mm filter.
But what happens
So yeah,
if you got caught short, nuclear war happened or a chemical attack, would you whack this asbestos riddled, blue asbestos riddled filter on your gas mask?
Yes,
Yeah.
because that other guy was
provided
saying,
provided when you look down the hole, the last bit that
you need to cut the cover off.
as long as when it came out of the lid. Yeah,
Right.
if you look down there and it looks reasonable, so that it could potentially filter out everything, then yes, I'd use it.
This one, my one looks like it's got black marks in it. Is that carbon?
Could be mould, maybe, I don't know. But my
Mould
one looks
spores
pretty
as well,
clean,
folks.
actually. Yeah.
You haven't been filling it up with homebrew and trying to suck it through it, have you?
Straw.
Gets the sediment out.
Lids on, folks. It's all safe. Right, let's go.
Funny you say about that. Someone I know, I better not say on here who it is, but I've seen a video of someone wearing a GSR mask, went into the supermarket and security made them take it off.
That's got to be an infringement of your PPE.
Well, he filmed it. He was filming it on his phone, and the security said, "I'll take it off. You're not coming in like that." And he said, "Well, I'll take it off. You can see my face. I'm going to put it back on to wear around the shop." And they basically refused him to come in the shop like that. And yeah, it's a grey area because I understand he could go in there, rob the place, and no one knows who he is. So fair enough. But everyone's saying wear a mask, but then you're not allowed to wear a mask if you go in a shop. So
yeah, that covering that part is still covering your face, isn't it?
Yeah, I know, but where'd you draw the line?
Yeah, it's identifying someone with 50% of their face. It's like a small mask versus a full mask. It doesn't make a difference. I mean, I don't see a problem with it.
To be honest, though, I think it would put me off shopping if you go in there and everyone's running around with gas masks on.
Gas mask and NBC suit.
Yeah, well,
you get to the checkout and you ask how much it is, and it's like,
You get got your little straw in it, S10.
With that. With Dale Winton.
Hold on, all I heard was Dale Winton.
Imagine doing supermarket sweep with that beast on.
I used to love watching that.
Yeah, I bet you love Dale Winton.
Someone on here
was see him in the corner, revving himself up, and all of a sudden it's like, "Please welcome to the stage," and he'd be like that, and then he'd jump on,
and always orange.
Yeah. Bless his heart.
Someone on here was saying about the crazy gas masks are the ones for horses and babies in prams.
Oh, yeah, horses. I've seen the horse ones.
Yeah, World War One. Yeah.
Well, those World War One gas masks for the humans, they just looked like a bag over the head, didn't it? Like a brown paper bag with a couple of eye holes in it. And a tube.
A lot of the original gas masks in World War One didn't even have any kind of breathing holes. What they did was it was basically just a cloth bag with eye holes, and they'd saturate the whole hood in I forget which chemical it is, but basically one that neutralizes chlorine gas, and they just have to sit there, not only huffing neutralized chlorine, but also the fumes from the stuff that the hood was soaked in. So it's like, wow, absolutely crazy. Those were the first gas masks. Yeah. So yeah, absolutely insane.
It is insane. Thinking back, to be honest, World War One is not, again, like World War Two, is not mentioned enough. There's not. They don't seem to mention it. I know, but it's an awful war as well, wasn't it?
Oh, it absolutely horrendous. Because you've got to bear in mind, this was before. Way before the Geneva Convention, so it was basically whatever you can develop to kill someone, we'll use it. Hence the chemical warfare. So what we'll do, just for a bit of a laugh, we're going to put number one fan on the line, and we're going to ask him, in which year did World War One start, and when did it finish? No, he's going on his phone.
Yeah,
come on, get out of it.
My phone's here.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
1915 to 1919, wasn't it?
14 to 18, I want to say.
Americans joined it later, didn't they?
It was a long time ago when I went to school, to be fair.
I think Chris might have won that one. Sorry, I had to do it. It's just a good laugh for a live stream.
A quick update with the comments.
I'm glad someone's keeping up with the comments.
I'm just watching the Zoom player.
This is, but when I was obviously talking about that person, someone has put on here, was it the lads wearing orange boiler suits and gas masks in Dover Tesco's?
Really?
Well, no, it wasn't, but I don't know if this is true, but that sounds really cool.
That sounds like the people that nicked the cash point.
It probably was the ones.
Yeah.
I don't know if, Simon, I don't know if you've heard about that, because obviously it's local to us.
Oh, Ian's gone.
Recently, they stole a digger from the building site next door, drove it into the 24-hour Tesco's, and removed the cash machines out of the building with the digger while the staff were inside filming.
Oh, okay. So we've had that happen a couple of times, but it's always at like 2-3 a.m.
Yeah,
we've never had it done during whilst the staff are there. So
it was probably, because it's a 24-hour Tesco's, but I don't know if this was before lockdown or when it started. But obviously they were in there filling the shelves up. The store's shut. They're filling the shelves up, and one of the staff is actually filming from outside. And they've got this massive, great digger oiking these machines out. And who's going to go outside and confront a load of people removing a cash machine? I'm not. You know, I don't think anybody else would.
You're not paid enough to deal with that.
No,
just let them get on with it.
But if you work there, just be like, no. But it has also been suggested when you wear your gas mask to Tesco's or wherever you're going, wear an NBC suit as well.
Now I don't have an NBC suit, but I was going to wear full camo head to toe with the hood and everything like that. I can't do genuine period because I don't have all the other Soviet gear, but I can at least make myself look as stupid as possible.
Yeah.
Go in first before you put your mask on. Go past security maybe.
Also,
into the store.
It has been suggested that they should play 80 zombie film music over the speakers in the supermarkets while you're shopping. That would be epic.
Oh well. I tell you what, right? If I did it at my local Asda's, that's where Jake works. So maybe I could have a word, get him to play some music. It'd be good fun.
We should have pop around there, Chris.
Sort it out, or do proper video then. Just.
Yeah.
Have you seen them NBC suits you can get on eBay? It's like a wetsuit. You got the boot covers.
That's German.
Yeah, German one. That's perfect. It's grey. It was like £10.
It's basically like it's a big grey bin bag.
That's
basically.
all you need, isn't it? Then the gloves. Then you duct tape the gloves onto the suit.
What's the delivery time on that suit? I might get one.
I'm not sure. You have to double check. It was a while ago when I looked. Just type in German NBC suit or something like that.
Look at it now. It's probably £50.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They've probably hiked the prices up, haven't they? Not that it'd do much good to anyone.
That's supposed to rattle.
The thing is, I was reading that now even with the gloves are supposed to be worse because you're wearing gloves, and then if it gets on the gloves, you're moving it around. It's far better just to wash your hands.
It's behaviours. That's the problem. I mean, the amount of people when I go to the shop, they'll be wearing gloves and a mask and stuff. I genuinely today, I saw a woman in the shop who'd been handling the trolley, which is a communal piece of equipment, opening the freezers and stuff. And then what she did was she took one hand, took the mask away and then scratched her nose and then put it back. And I'm like,
Yeah.
Did you see that, Simon?
You have a quick.
yeah.
£10.99 free postage from Ipswich.
Right.
Do you want me to send you that?
Yeah, send me the link and I'll get that and I'll go in that with the gas mask and the filter bag and everything. It'd be great.
But worst case scenario, IKS, we can use some fundage. We can bail you out. So worst case scenario. It's all good.
The bailout will come later because I've been working from home for some time now, but I've been told that I'm going to need to go into London for 1, maybe 2 days in a week or so. Now, the place where I'm working at the moment, our customer, who I won't disclose on a live stream, they're right round the corner from Parliament Square and Downing Street. So I was going to go fully kitted up and start taking selfies in front of all the armed police in front of Downing Street and just have a laugh with it.
You have to take a GoPro or something as well and record you doing it.
Yeah. No, I will. Just for a laugh. I mean, that's the thing. A lot of people think that the police would get the hump with that kind of stuff, but a lot of them have got a good sense of humour. They'd find that so funny.
I mean, I find it really funny. You go to some shops. I mean, I've got obviously posting merchandise and stuff. Gone to the local shop, local post office, and some people act like nothing's changed. Other people, sensible, keep the distance. And there are a small selection of people that are just completely over the top. I was coming out the other day. I held arm's length, held the door open to let someone in who was coming in. No, I'm not coming in till you come out. Fucking hell, okay, calm down. Some people are a bit mad. It's like this is the uncut channel, so it's okay.
Balls.
Yeah.
Fez's 2 beats here.
Right. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's not that bad. Round here, it's not as bad as what you described. There are a lot more people paying attention and this, that, and the other. But you do get the odd person that's just like, they might as well. I mean, I offered to give a guy a hug the other day because he was getting so close to me. I was like, "Do you want a hug, mate?" He's like, "What?"
You say that. There's someone I know that I do some work for. He was walking down to work the other morning, and there was someone walking the other way. So he moved over and stepped into the road to walk past. And this little old guy going the other way turned around to him and went, "Oh, another government sheep, I see."
You get to watch out what you say to some people, because some people are getting quite violent.
Yeah. And he was he stepped out the way, keep the distance, be safe and all that. And this was a little old guy, and he turned around and said that. And it's just like, oh, my God. It's the old people you've got to watch.
I must admit, the old people I've seen are some of the worst, because we're doing social distancing. I mean, people in all of our age ranges are not really high risk, whereas the elderly are. Yeah. And when I've gone shopping, I've had so many of the elderly people I'll be stationary in the shop because I'm waiting for them to clear on from an aisle, and they'll come back towards me, like right next to me, to get something off the shelf, and I'm like, well, we're kind of doing this for your benefit. You really should. I mean, I don't know whether it's, don't get me wrong. I mean, they could have dementia or anything like that or whatever, But it's just like, you can only do so much if you're being sensible. Simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I mean. I do the same thing in shops. You try and avoid people, but sometimes I find if you've got to walk past someone, I sort of turn towards the shelving and sort of pass in an aisle, so at least you're not, coughing over them or licking them on the way past, Who's
that behind you, Chris?
What? Oh. You get the sofa pops up, that's the problem.
Yeah, it's me in a chair.
Yeah, that's the creepy place.
Yeah.
This is some of Child's Play.
See, I'm just wondering how many times Chris licks people when he walks past them in the shop now under normal circumstances.
It's normal. It's you shake their hands or you lick them, one of the two.
The windows, isn't it? Usually, isn't it?
Well, you got to lick something.
The other thing I wonder with a lot of old people, if they just sort of think, well, I've had a good life. If I get it, I get it, and that's that. Don't know.
Oh yeah, I mean, so before I go to work every morning, I stop at my local shop about 7:30 in the morning before I go into London. I grab an energy drink. I have it just to keep me alert when I'm, darting my way into London on the motorcycle. And there's this old boy that I talk to every day, have done for like 2 years. And the last time I saw him, he was saying to me, he was like, if I get this, I'm done. Because he's got really bad respiratory issues. And it was only at that point I was like, well, this is kind of why we're doing the social distancing. It's to stop people like him getting something which we're all right with and we'll recover from. But yeah, no, the amount of... I mean, I've only put 2 social media. This is personal social media, not on the thing, but just trying to have a little bit of a humorous poke at some of the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. When you push people to an extreme, such as lockdown, I fully appreciate how the mind runs wild and you can start to think of things. I mean, I myself am questioning certain things. However, when what's being preached comes from a guy who wrote a book about lizard people, that's where I kind of draw the line.
Right.
But that's me,
Yeah. I think you've got to sort of take him. Where's Sam gone?
Who?
Hang on, that's all right. I think when you read, you got to sort of read between the lines with everything, and sort of find the happy medium of what is probably truth.
Oh no, definitely. I mean,
I think 100% is media, because it's like from around the rest of the world and stuff. This many people have been infected, this many people have recovered. In this country, basically, by the sound of it, everyone dies and no one recovers because we don't get figures. You never get a happy story of all these people have got over it.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Stuff I think is just a bit vague, like numbers. They don't know who's dying at home and stuff like that, and care homes and stuff. And then the news is going, oh, today this many people died. But we don't have an update from X, Y, and Z, so we don't really know.
Well, this is why I'm waiting until next year. It's not something we're going to learn about straight away, but as soon as the government put out their predicted death rate, I then went and looked at last year's death rate because they said something along. Yeah, they said they.
You watched a video by
It's his
probably
name, isn't it?
a certain person. Is that not the same person that did the lizard thingy?
No. I don't watch those videos. I try and just, if a thought comes to mind, I try and research it myself. But what I thought of was, if they're predicting X amount of deaths between January and May, how many were there last year? And the government this year predicted, there could be 350,000 deaths.
Yeah.
I looked at the statistics for last year, and it was about 350,000 for just general national death toll. So it made me wonder, but it didn't make me. You have to try and be reserved a little bit.
Yeah, I'm with you with that. This time next year, when we look at the death rate, I expect it to be, say, double what it was last year.
Well, I'm interested to see if the death rate is actually what it should be. Yes. No. That's why I'm saying I want to wait until next year to actually look at the statistics and make my own mind up. But
some people have said at the moment, with a lot of the problems is, some of these people that have got like coronavirus or symptoms of have also got cancer and other things. So basically, they were dying, might have got this, might have got the flu, whatever.
Yes. Yeah.
It depends what is being put down to.
I've got one for you.
Yeah.
I've got one for you, Simon. Do you want to come camping with us on the Grain Tower?
Oh, you'd be up for that.
Ah, well, you've been talking to hell on earth.
No.
Really?
No.
They had exactly the same idea and said to me, we've got to get you guys, IKS, everyone involved during the summer out on Grain Tower. So, the Ho Boys are up for it as well, which would be a good laugh.
This is the funny thing. It's because, like the other Explore we did, when we did, I don't know if we can name it, but we basically bumped into them when we was out with, who was we out with, Ian? Little Sam.
Sam Adams.
Oh,
and
how can we describe it? The echoey place.
The testing
sound.
But I mean, that was not set up. A lot of people did go, "Oh, it was set up. It was all supposed to be there the same day." But we didn't know that. I don't think anyone we were with knew they were going to be there. And even when they said it, I went, "Oh, that sounds like Johnny." And he was like, "Yeah, it's them taking the piss." So we carried on walking, and then I heard him a couple more times. It's like, no, I really actually do think hell on earth are here.
No, because what happened was we was walking towards like the back part of that, and I heard these. I thought it was Dave and Sam and his dad and that, like sort of taking the mick, like they sounded like northern accents. They sounded like hell on earth. But I thought they can't be here. In my head, they can't be here. I thought it was them taking a piss of some sort.
Yeah.
So I just went, yeah, sure. And I carried on. I went out the back, behind, in the back room of that, where the generators and all that probably were. And then Chris comes back and he says, "Oh no, it's really them." And I walked out, it was like Johnny Norton coming down in his dungarees,
Dave messaged me and he was like, "I've just bumped into everyone." And no one knew that we were all. I mean, what are the coincidences? You got that many people there at the exact same time.
Yeah, same time. Yeah. What the hell?
Thing is, what a lot of people don't know is even after all that happened, everyone else left, and even little Sam and that, they all left. And me and Ian carried on because you know what Ian's like. Oh, you got to film everything twice. Blah 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 blah. So we carried on going, and we went into the basement underneath, and did a lot of the filming in there. Where Ian fell down the stairs and dropped a brand new camera.
No, I didn't drop the camera. Luckily, it was around my neck. But the video light flew off and battery flew out. I was tired, folks.
But anyway, we came back.
Got a bit red, Chris.
Huh?
Got a bit red there, mate.
It always does. It is the camera because the camera's in its computer cupboard. It bounces off the cupboard.
What sort of house are you in? Look, there's weeds growing out on the windowsill and that.
There's a dead body behind him.
Right in the corner.
There's some bloke there. Look, dead bloke.
But we bumped into quite a few other people at the site at the same time. It was literally like going to Tesco's.
Yeah.
They
told me it's heaving.
Everyone we bumped into turned around and went, "Oh, hi, IKS," or "Hi, Ian."
Yeah, mad, isn't it? Small world.
Yeah, that's how we met Callum. Because he was like, "Oh, I'm Callum," and we're like, "Hiya," not that,
Right.
and then messaged and was like, "Message me something," and then we've done some exploring with him and that sort of thing. But then there were some other people there, weren't there? When we was up the top climbing through the hole, and they were like, "Oh, I love your videos."
Yeah. From a sheer
Just-
distance, this was.
It's a small world, isn't it? It really is.
It's weird when that happens as well, because I went to Drop Redoubt Open Day early last year, and I wasn't there. I didn't have cameras out, anything. It was just like normal member of public, and like everyone in there was just like, "You're right, Simon." I'm like, "All right,
Mad, isn't it?
you all right?" They're like, yeah, have a good one. I'm trying to figure it out. Do I know them?
Yeah,
No,
what's
I
going
don't.
on? You know, it's like, you watch our videos, folks, and it's like, you know us, but you don't know. We don't know you. Do you know what I mean? It's like we're actors. If I met, say, personally, like, who could I say? Like Ricky Gervais, or something like that. I get an idea of what he's like, and he's never met me in his life, but I'd meet him and it'd be like I'd know him.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's just strange. That's all.
Yeah. We love you, folks, but we don't know you that well.
Yeah, give us a little bit of context when you say hello. Just go. You're all right. My name's. Tell us your name. Come on.
That does help because because the other thing I found is a lot of people obviously watch videos and they message you like on Facebook or add you. Or especially, I don't mind the messages so much because most people explain, but people add you and you're like, well, I don't actually know who you are. If you message and go, oh, hi, yeah, I'm Barry, you bumped into such and such a day, blah, 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 it's slightly different. Right. Otherwise, you just get random people and you think, who are you? Do I know you? Sort of thing.
I don't use Facebook too much anymore.
So I think a lot of people feel, because they see you in videos, they know you.
Yeah.
Now I've noticed over the years Ian's strategic use of Facebook. If I'm sure Ian knows what I kind of mean by now, because obviously we've got more of an understanding of the exploring community and what they're like. So I do fully appreciate why Ian kind of is on the down low.
Yeah, I've come away from all that. I don't go on groups and that. I don't like it. Too clicky.
I don't blame you.
I personally hate drama.
Number one fans get off.
I agree. I mean, it's I have never ever promoted any kind of videos or anything on Facebook, and I think, like you, that's probably why you and I get on so well with some of the more hardcore photography anti-video crowd.
Right.
Because Chris obviously is quite active on Facebook. He knows all about this, but you go on Facebook and you get there's one big group called Urbex on Facebook. Second someone drops a video in there going, oh yeah, subscribe to my channel, blah blah blah, it's like they just get torn to pieces, and with good reason, because it's all clickbaity rubbish. And I think that's what we've got in common. If the title and the thumbnail is intriguing, it's because it's genuine. It's not faking it,
Indeed, yeah.
And it's also because of a true interest in what you're actually doing. Whereas a lot of these people, they're just like, oh, found dead body, and then there's like, yeah, it is.
We tried that. Well, I've tried that once on the.
Yeah, I know which I know which area that was as well.
To be honest, with that one, when we first walked around the corner, there was words muttered like, "Oh, there might be a body there."
Well, he sees like red stuff and a foot. And,
realistic.
So we rearranged the body and then reshot that scene because we made it look like it was more of a foot hanging out there, and it looked better. And then we reshot it, and then it's like, holy Jesus, what's that?
Where did number one fan go?
I know, he disappeared about 3-4 minutes ago. Where's his lovely portrait face gone? Is he going to rejoin under the landscape?
I did message him, but I don't. I'm wondering if his battery went flat or something, because I haven't had a reply. So, like, hang on. Okay, now it's getting confusing. There's too many pages open.
Hmm.
No, still no reply. I reckon his battery went flat. There's no reply.
Right.
He hasn't even read the message. It's either that or he just got bored. Leave
What was I
it.
going to say about the videos and that? And people still accuse, I don't know if they accuse you, but they accuse me of clickbait in certain videos and that as well.
You
But it's
you
like,
always
I
you
think
always get that.
That's. I'd say it's not clickbait because it's part of the video. It's how it's pronounced. It's not, there's certain ways clickbait is saying that clickbait is saying that you're advertising something that's not actually in that video.
Yeah. It's treading a fine line, which is what I've always tried to be very conscious of, which is you want to express the more interesting elements of what you're doing, but you don't want to push it so far that you're just getting people in for the sake of it. Which is why it's difficult, because I think you gain a more loyal and better. Oh, Chris is behind a farm. You gain a better following because they're more genuine when they come to liking your content. Whereas if you're just spamming clickbait all the time, you just get people that are like, oh, occasionally they put something interesting up. Whereas I mean, a lot of our subscribers, I mean, they message me outside of YouTube, and I reply back quite regularly and we have conversations and stuff, and it's a nice community to build. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of this hopeless, when you clickbait to a certain extent, you're purely doing it for likes and
There's a lot of that. I think I see it all the time. It's like it's getting out of control. I love
Something I've always said to Ian, and I think you're the same with the videos. It doesn't really matter if anybody watches them. We go to these places because we want to look at it, document it. Yeah. Ian enjoys making videos. If people watch it, that's brilliant. But if they don't, and we're the only people that ever go there, it doesn't matter.
It's all about the personal enjoyment.
For watching it because they want to watch it, than because they're waiting for Big Mandy with the big boobs to pop up or something. You've got to keep it sort of sensible. You can clickbait it a bit. Oh my god, we found a dead body. Because
I've done that once, and that got over 175,000 views.
We sort of thought we had. It was like, oh my god, what do we do? No. And I mean, as we both know, because a fellow explorer recently did find a dead body.
Yes, indeed, he did.
Bless his heart, he didn't need to find that. Not at his age, Christ almighty.
No, got in a lot of trouble too, because the police found out that he privately, I will add privately, he didn't make it public. He did send some photos to some people. I did see them.
Anyway.
So he got into a lot of trouble for that. The police took all of his gear and everything. So
Right. So they went through his stuff and they found that he sent stuff out to people, or did he tell them he sent?
Oh no! No one knows how they found out, but they literally came and kicked his door through.
What?
And they detained him, took his computer, mobile phone, everything like that. And still today, I mean, those images are not public. You won't find them publicly. No. But obviously, I can appreciate what the police are trying to do. They're trying to minimise the risk of it going public for the sake of the family of the person that they found, which is completely understandable.
When I first saw the picture, I didn't think it was real. I thought it was a dummy or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's hard to tell, isn't it?
It is hard to tell. And then when I found out he was telling the truth, he sent me other pictures of like the police and that. It hit me quite hard. It hit me, and I wasn't even there. But so God knows with this young lad, he's not even 18 yet. So
everyone deals with stuff. Everyone deals with stuff differently. Yeah. And is that bear in mind he reported it. Is that the right way to treat someone who's going to be a bloody shock at least?
Well, that's it. I mean, until you yourself are put in that situation, you don't necessarily know how you're going to react to it. I mean, if I was that age, at that age, I had no experience of that kind of thing. Nowadays, obviously, I wouldn't be that well, obviously, it'll be a bit of a shock, but it wouldn't faze me to the point that it did for him, because from what he was telling me, because he was with two other teenagers, and one of the guys was really heavily hit, really affected him psychologically. So he's unfortunately undergoing a bit of psychological psychiatric help. That's it. Which is good, but it's just unfortunate. It's not something you expect to find in such a weird place.
No, bless his heart.
No,
Bless your heart, mate.
I suppose, to be fair, we are more likely to bump into this sort of thing because there's just places that aren't gone into very often. So if people sleep there or anything like that, and there's any deaths or anything, it will be explorers that bump into them.
But I did say to you, Chris, if we went to a place like that and we saw someone that looked like they were laying down, like somebody there, would we sort of go, shit, there's someone there, let's get out of here?
I did wonder that. I suppose it depends on the situation. If you're really loud, banging and crashing around and going in, and they don't wake up, you might think that. But I'm not sure I'd want to go over and find out.
No, I don't think I would.
No.
We'd be more likely to be the sort of people that don't and go back outside. But then
just
actually,
go and leave the situation alone.
But from what has gone on, it does make you think now that if that did happen, I think you'd have a duty of care really to go over and find out, because wouldn't it better once you're in that situation to check, because it could be a group of 10-year-olds out exploring on the beach, blah blah blah, whatever you want to say, exploring these sort of places, I wouldn't want someone else to find it after you've already seen it and not done something. So I think you'd probably have to to make that decision at the time to do it.
All right, I'll wait at the entrance.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with what Chris is saying. I mean, if someone comes along who, little kid, there's a social responsibility. But from my perspective, what I'd probably do, and a lot of people may find this a little bit disrespectful, but it's with good cause, would be I'd use the cliche of poking them with a stick. Not because of anything like that, but, let's say that it's not someone who's sadly passed away. Let's say it's someone that's off their nut and is on drugs and is non-responsive to any kind of audio stimulus. I wouldn't want to be too close to them. If you nudge them with your hand and you're right next to them and, they are alive and they've just done a bit of a downer because of some drugs, they could lash out. Yeah. It's just unfortunate, but
I think it's enough to make sure that if you poke them, like you said, poke them with a stick or something, and make sure. And if you're not sure, then go outside, ring the police, and say, look, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I don't want to really.
But then what happens to Sam? The police come kick his door in and all that stuff. Doesn't that make you not want to tell the police and maybe just get the hell out of there? Because it's hassle, isn't it? Because then the police are going to be saying to you that you've possibly done this. So it's going to be an investigation. You have found the body.
Yeah, but what I was saying earlier, as a parent, I'd be more concerned about, young kids being in that situation and then finding something like that.
You know what the crazy thing was? I was actually thinking about them tunnels before that happened. I thought to myself, I ain't been down there before. I wouldn't mind actually filming that.
Yeah.
And then Sam went down there. Bless him. So, crazy. Yeah. Really crazy. Heart goes out to you, my man, and to your friends. So, horrible, horrible, horrible.
Yeah, he doesn't have much luck, does he?
No, bless him. But when you're 18, mate, we'll have a few beers with you, lad. When the pubs are open anyway.
You can come out with some responsible drinkers like us and Simon here.
Yeah.
Responsible drinking and all that.
Yeah, we can advise him as to which tattoos to get that don't look like they were painted on with a crayon.
Like, to be fair though, I was but we have looked at the tattoos, and the ones he has had done, according to Google on your phone, do say roughly what he thinks they do.
Roughly is not exact, and I'd love to get an actual native speaker of those languages, because I'm sure that it just says. Well, I don't want to say it because I don't want to.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. But I mean, at least
At least he tried.
Of it,
Yeah.
It says something.
You can have a remove though. Bit of laser surgery, folks.
I know so many people with
so
tattoos.
blocky though. Do you know how long it would take to laser that off? God, that's gonna hurt.
Oh. Have you got any tattoos?
He has.
Ironically, so friend of mine who also goes exploring, she's a tattoo artist and obviously self-employed, little bit of a money shortage during these times, so did like a raffle just to set, and she was selling like loads of tickets, so chances of winning are really low. So I bought a couple of tickets, you know, helping out your local you know, self-employed people, and lo and behold I bloody won second place, didn't I? So I've got I've got a morning session booked for a tattoo thing in August. So
I saw that, and because you've been tagged in it, I just assumed that you were into your tattoos.
It's a very, very long story, but ultimately I had been very interested in getting a full sleeve design done.
Yeah.
Back in my younger years, I had saved up about $1,500 to do it.
Just forgot the toilet, folks. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. But when it came time to do it, I suddenly got word from family members that they were in trouble and hadn't been paying their mortgage for several months, and the bank was threatening to take the house. So I offered that money to them, and I never saved again to do it, so I'd never re-ventured that idea. But now, might as well.
Have you got any then?
Not currently.
Oh, really? Okay. I just, don't know, I just assumed you had, really, from the way you... Yeah, I'll have a go at that. That's quite good, though. I mean, I don't know, I'm not really a tattoo fan, but if they're done well, and like you said, you know what they say, that does help.
Well, I wouldn't have any words in mine. I'm going to turn one of my lights on, though. Ian's favourite, the old S2R Mini Intimidator. Let's blast that up, because it's getting a bit dark in here. There we go. Oh, great. Now I can...
Now the ship's put it in front darker. So you
put it in front?
Put it in front, then you can't see.
No, I can see, but I'm just trying to... That's not too bad.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
that's all. Yeah.
I've just been sent a list of corona cases, deaths, and recovered. And according to this, the UK recovery is 0.
I don't know what the source is there.
So, I assume it, by the look of it, we just don't bother recording who survives.
No, we do. There is a... Hold on. I've got my phone. There's a very good global website that actually keeps up with this stuff. It's like...
I don't know what this is, because I've been sent it, but it's coronachat.me.
coronachat.me.
Chart. Sorry, I can't read either. Ian's just walked through the sign again. That's all good.
You know where that sign's from? Who's that? There's a ghost behind you, Chris. Jesus.
What? Where are we? I don't know what.
There was. It just disappeared.
What?
Yeah, there's a website called worldometers.info, and they collate all the information from government websites, and it tells you how many people have recovered.
That's what's the UK? What's the statistics of the UK?
Right, so the UK, we're 4th in the list when it comes to severity. So total cases 182,260. Total deaths 28,131, and recoveries. Where's recoveries? You have to scroll for that, obviously.
They don't put that at the top, do they?
No, they don't. Well, active cases. Active cases at the moment is actually really high, 153,785. If you click on the country and let it load, it will tell. So, yeah. Sorry, Chris, you are correct. Check that out. Get there. Recovered, non-applicable.
Yeah.
To be fair, you can extrapolate the answer from that. I mean, the average death rate is anywhere between 1% to 3%, so you can kind of work it out.
It was less than that. Wasn't it 0 point something percent? I don't think it's as high as even 1%, is it?
It depends upon which source you get it from, and
Yeah. I think this is half the problem.
yeah. Well, like me, you're sceptical of the mainstream media with good cause. So where do you get your info from?
Yeah.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I cheers to that.
This is a bit like you were saying earlier. I know that there's certain videos that I think we both watched and stuff like that, which you don't really follow, but it does make you think that I would like to see the death toll next year of this year compared to last year, because I'm led to believe there isn't much difference in it. And I know, X amount of people, 20,000 people ever passed away this month, but this time last year, 20,000 people probably passed away from sickness and whatever. And how many things, have been tied up with this? Oh, COVID-19, they've got that, they've died. But actually, 18,000 of them might have died anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know that's the case, and I'm trying to keep an open mind about it, and until I can get more information in the future, but that's not going to happen until next year.
No.
The only advantage I've got is my neighbour is actually a nurse at Chatham Maritime Hospital.
Yeah.
Now she's been on. She's had to stop working through self-isolation for 2 weeks because one of her family members got symptoms and stuff. They can get
test kits now, can't they?
So if you work for the NHS, you do get tested pretty quick. And she's been obviously text message from across the road, but she's been giving us more information than I say most people get. Yeah. And what she said is that it's, at least here, I can't speak for London or any big cities and stuff, but for here, it's not quite as frantic and chaotic as everyone says. However, it's definitely more stringent for them. So they do have more people that are suffering from the beers are here.
Breathing.
Respiratory issues.
Them issues, yeah.
Yeah. So they are having to be more careful, and there are more people that are being admitted with that kind of stuff. But again, as you say, a lot of people who are passing away during this period are being labelled as death by COVID-19, even though they've got a massive history of cancer and lung disease and this, that, and the other and stuff. So I don't think it's the same as China. I don't think we're ever going to see the true figures.
I don't know, but I would assume if you're a doctor and someone's died because they've had COVID-19, it's far easier to write on the death certificate COVID-19 than actually do a post-mortem and go, well, actually, they've got cancer, they hadn't got long to live, and actually that pushed them over the edge.
Well, it's money as well. Yeah. I mean, if you're talking about doing an autopsy, it costs money. And the other thing as well is COVID-19 doesn't kill people. It's the pneumonia that you can slip into after having had it. So, I mean, pneumonia is not new. However many people, honestly, it's just an absolute mess. I wouldn't like to speculate at this point. Yes, there is a problem. Yes, we've got this virus going around, but the numbers are never going to be accurate. They won't be. We can't. We don't have the resources to record it.
Well, it's like they were saying about care homes. Care homes or something report a week or two behind. And then you've got other things. You've got private care homes where people like you said, you're never going to get a true figure. You're going to get an estimation.
Yeah, until it settles down and you can correlate all the figures together, you're never going to know. And even then, you've got to take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of these, it happens, and all we've got to do is go with it, isn't it, really?
Go with the flow, folks. Yes, indeed. As I said, you can get your top of the range test kit straight from China. So
yeah, but the problem is, you buy your test kit, you're fine today. You go and post a parcel tomorrow.
Yeah, you can still get it.
10 infected people. Do you have a test today?
I've got some parcels coming, folks. I've got 2 beer kits coming, 2 stout kits, £12 on eBay for one. So I've got 2 of them.
I don't know about Simon, but a friend of mine currently is buying his beer in the evenings, whatever, going home and washing the cans in the sink before he opens them.
Yeah, no, I know
I understand
quite a few
that,
of
yeah.
my friends are doing similar things.
Personally, I'm not.
You know, I've heard of the case of like someone got Will's disease or something like that from a dirty like Coke can or something from a kebab shop, because like rats wee was on them because they had them stored on the floor and the rats are on the floor. I'm not saying kebab shops are bad, folks.
But how can you prove it came off a can?
Just put two and two together, innit? You've been to that dirty kebab shop, folks. Not all of them are dirty. Let's put that one out there.
Apart from a can. He might have been licking his front door.
There's one down one of your favourite kebab shops in Dover, Chris.
Well, the one with the 0 rating.
Yeah, that one. If you go around the corner of that, down the side of it, and look at the door to get into their property from the back, there's a small little round hole and a hole under their door where the rats have been getting in. They've gnawed under the door and they've made a hole to get in.
I know, but the kebab sauce is just is to die for, literally.
Didn't they used to do something in that sauce a long time ago?
Well, that might be why it tastes so good. But anyway,
Oh,
I don't want to know all of this. I just want to know the sauce is really good.
Yeah, all right.
As long as it's not too salty, you should be fine. Right, Ian took a break. I'm going around the back of the HQ. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you should go for Matthew's idea, glory hole.
No glory hole.
Madness, folks.
Oh, I see.
Euro chicken, yeah.
No, Marcus has joined us.
How you doing, Marcus?
Mr. T80 says he washes everything.
It's best bet. You don't know what's. You should do that anyway.
I don't know. I would like to think, you've got to draw the line somewhere. I think if it's this bad, most people are probably going to get it sooner or later. And what do you do? You wash everything, not go out. You either go really extreme or you just go, well, sooner or later I'm going to get it, and that's that.
Indeed. I just want to say, Chris, behind you on that building that's behind you there,
Mm.
it says IRA.
Oh, does it?
Look, move over.
I haven't really looked that far into the picture. Does it? Oh, I'm not. We'll put it in here now. I'm not saying I support the IRA. It just happens to be on the building in the picture behind.
Yeah, we took that picture. Chris took that picture, folks.
This is basically just a picture that I've took off the list of pictures, so I'm nowhere associated with the IRA. Just we'd let that know.
That's the British Army. That is putting that on there. So that shows you how old, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, obviously we probably can't say here that that's a live training site, can we? So we won't say that.
No. In that case, we didn't take that picture.
Yeah, no, we borrowed the picture of some
off Google
live training site, and it is nowhere near the helicopter, which I also put on Instagram.
Yeah. Actually, that helicopter come off eBay. I bought that.
Yeah. So hang on, let's look at things.
Moving swiftly on.
Moving swiftly on. There you go.
That looks World War II, doesn't it?
What is that?
It's missing the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that.
Weapons storage area, isn't it?
Ammo storage area, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know where. I've been to all these places. Half the time, I can't remember what places are.
It's one with Stephen.
Yeah, it's Norfolk somewhere, then, isn't it?
We still haven't been to the one Simon said about the doors at work. We've still got to do that.
Yeah.
I sent you the pin. Honestly, the bomb stores are amazing.
But then we did find bomb stores recently, didn't we, where the lights worked, which was nearly as good.
Yeah. That's
weird when you turn up somewhere and you flick what looks like a 50-year-old switch and you get bong bong bong. It's like shit. And then I can't remember what someone with us went, oh, the lights are on. Yeah. No, seriously, the lights are on. It's like, oh shit.
Yeah, good places.
Yeah, that's amazing though. But that place I went, seriously, I mean, from Dover you're looking at about a 4-hour drive, but really worth it because not only have you got that airfield in the area, there's 3 you can visit at the same time. And yeah, those bomb stores, right? Get one of you to stand inside and the other one to stand outside and close the doors, and the echo you get when those big blast doors, yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Chris
Really
can stay
good.
inside, then I shut the door.
Yeah. At some point, can you send that over again? Because it's on the list, but the list is so long.
You've yeah, I know. What
Do you remember?
We're gonna have to start out like a new list for after lockdown.
Do you remember what happened in HMS Wildfire?
What happened in?
He shut the door and it didn't have a handle on it, or a bit of metal sticking out. So
yeah, no, I shut the door and we got locked in.
What? What, on the main entrance or one of the
little
rooms?
One of the doors inside.
Oh,
with Gareth.
Medway, yeah, I know Gareth.
Was on here earlier. I don't know if he still is.
Medway drone exploration, folks.
Yeah,
they let us out. So the moral of the story is, when you're going places,
don't close doors.
Yeah, I always have this thing as well. Don't close the ROC hatches, because you don't know.
Yeah, if they jam, that's it. You're in trouble,
Chris.
Mm.
Well, that was, to be fair, that was worse, isn't it? Because I never really thought about it. They've got metal doors, when most places don't.
Yeah. What, ROC posts?
I mean, they're wood, aren't they? I mean, they're not as bad, but with metal doors, you are really
metal doors and concrete walls.
Yeah.
Knackered, folks.
Cold War.
I
did have a plan of getting out over the top of the door through them pipes.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to have to do that.
No, I'd be more concerned about damaging stuff, though, than like personal survival.
It's a shame, because after that party down there, a lot of stuff, it stunk of, sorry to say this, folks, but piss, and the atmosphere wasn't as great as it should have been.
And then people started stealing toilets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
stuff
the old
stolen
Sands.
and
yeah.
But to be brutally honest, I know it's, it doesn't help the history and all that, but if it wasn't for all that going on, we wouldn't have got to see it.
It's true.
So I thought
we'd never got to see it. The council would never allow that. Health and safety, folks.
So you got to sort of think, well, okay, yeah, at least we got to see it. So
yeah, and it was still
selfishly, I'm happy because I got to see it.
Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff in there. A lot of stuff was still intact, but stuff was stolen, and there was a lot of piss everywhere, and it stunk down there. But luckily, it was sealed after, pretty much, wasn't it? A few days, it was sealed up again.
Now, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, what was quite ironic is that on the first day it was opened, it was my birthday, and I was out, and I got a call from my friend Dave, and he went, "Wildfire's open," and I went, "No, get off," because it's an urban legend. No one's ever been down, not since the early 90s. And he was like, yeah, it's open. So on my birthday, I got to go down into Wildfire. It was great, and I visited it every day until it was closed after that. So I went down 3 times, but that's because I'm local to it, so it's nice and easy. It's funny because Boz was telling me, I think on the second day I left at about 9:30, 10 o'clock, and then you guys turned up about 15 minutes after I left.
Well, at the time, I actually had a borrowed car. And it was one of those cases of like, right, I've got a borrowed car, I really shouldn't be taking it anywhere, but that's open. So we took it and was driving down the M20, and there was an accident, and there was not, roadblock while they cleared the accident. So we were sitting in that, and it was like, for fuck's sake, because we were supposed to be...
So we might have actually met you if that roadblock hadn't been there.
We were meeting, we met Gareth in the end, didn't we?
Yeah.
So we were sort of messaging him, going, look, we're sitting in traffic, don't know how long it's going to take, road stationary while they, sweep some dead people out of the way. So we'll be there as soon as we can. So,
before they sealed it up again, I don't know if you know this, did they do a sweep of the tunnels before they welded it?
Yes, they always do, because the tunnels are actually owned by the college.
Right.
So the original plans that they submitted to the council to build the new college had the building directly over the top of the bunker. Now, at the time, the council didn't disclose as to why they said this, but they went, nope, you can't have the building here. You can have a car park, but the building needs to be over here. They didn't say it at the time, but that's why, because they didn't want that much weight being built over, even though it's 80 foot underground. But yeah, no, it's that was the first. Actually, that was the first time I met the brothers of Medway Drone Exploration as well. So yeah,
I was gonna say in the comments, Gareth has just said that's where he met you.
The brothers.
Yeah.
What's the brothers?
well, I don't know whether I should say their first names on a live stream, but it's they're brothers. aren't they?
Gareth.
Yeah,
All right, yeah, Gareth and
family. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I thought there was only one.
Yeah,
No.
that's him and his brother.
Oh, was it?
Right.
Have I met his brother?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I've been exploring with two brothers. I think.
You've seen two now, Chris. Jesus.
That's what happens with the Fosters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that behind you? That's a bird feeder, isn't it?
What?
Eh?
That's a lovely.
Hey, Chris, look.
What?
Some sort of pheasant feeder.
I don't know. It's not like I'm there, is it?
It's like
What that?
no, look,
No,
Chris.
he's on about me, but it's like I'm not there. I don't know what's in the picture.
Oh,
It's like
I
where
know.
Chris is as well. I don't know what's going on.
I'm pretty sure that's for deer
Right.
or
Right.
for hunting wild game. It's,
I reckon it's a
it's
game thing, yeah, because I think where we
it's a-
was
yeah.
weren't meant to be there, folks.
Oh, is
We'll
it?
go World War II, shall we?
Yeah, we're at sea now.
Chris has got a bald head.
Do we all know what that is?
Yeah, the keystone is completely off there. You do look quite more trimmed at the sides now.
I meant in the background.
Yeah.
What's that?
Oh,
You two should both know that. If I move completely and the sofa stays out of it,
Yeah, you told me earlier. I forgot. Can't remember.
Ooh. Is it off the English Channel or one of our islands?
where it is, don't worry about where it is, but it should, well, it did originally float in World War II. Does that help?
Well, there's a lot that floated during World War II that doesn't
Okay.
now.
It was part of, I can't remember what they're called, and someone will tell me in a minute. But it was the floating pontoons, built of concrete, pumped the water out, floated them over. I think it was something to do with Normandy, D-Day, something like that. They floated them out and sunk it as a temporary harbour.
It's
So
mad, isn't it?
basically, it's a massive lump of floating concrete. There you go. It's a floating harbour from World War II.
So where is that then?
Well, it's near Porchester. What did Mum say earlier? Porchester Castle, something like that, wasn't it, Jess?
I have no idea.
Porchester Castle.
Folks,
I'm going to have to Google that.
Do not say my name on
mad. But
It's the one Fez said about the other day, going, has anyone been to that castle? And I was like, yes. But anyway, the castle's here, and that's out in the sea.
right, have you got any other pictures?
The reason that's there is wherever they were built or moved from, that got stuck. When they pumped it out, it wouldn't come off the seabed, so they left it there, basically.
So we have to get. Have you got a boat? Have you, Simon?
No, but we have been talking to some people recently to get some kayaks to go out to Fort Hoo and Fort Darnett.
Yeah, we need to get out there. Don't we?
I'll
I've got
be
the
honest
dinghy in the
with you.
bag down here. I've got the oar.
But maybe we can sort something out.
Yeah,
Can't we
I've got
get the
this.
dinghy?
We're all right.
Oh,
We've got this,
Nope.
folks. We've got one.
I love the way that the wood is camouflaged.
I know.
Oh, now it's the other way around.
Invisible cloak.
But we do know someone with a boat, don't we, Ian? So
Yeah.
maybe we could. Actually, we know a couple of people have messaged and said, "Oh, I've got a boat."
Yeah, I
But
know,
it's not
and
track.
you know,
Um,
it's just one of them, isn't it? It's like, yeah, crazy folks.
But we do know one crazy guy with a boat.
Crazy guy with a boat is your
Crazy-
best bet. At least you'll have an
Crazy guy with a
adventure.
boat and a husky. Does that help, Ian?
Secret vault.
Wasn't going to say that, but yeah,
Well, I thought that's what he was getting at. I thought he was giving me clues.
I was giving you clues, so you went, yeah. But okay, so far you've already mentioned. I've tried to hide names, but you've already mentioned like Sam and
Yeah.
Jake and
As
all
long as
that.
you don't mention second names, isn't it?
I suppose, to be fair, yeah. I mean,
Matthew Williams. Oh,
Matthew Williams also had a secret vault. I'm sure there's only one secret vault. And anyway,
are you
fine.
watching, Matthew Williams? Are you watching, sir?
He's probably got better things to do, to be fair.
Yeah, but yeah, we want to get out to those. It's quite a strong current round there, though, isn't it? On one of the sides, anyway.
Yeah, but he's got a boat with an outboard.
No, but I think that dinghy I've got is going to be fine, mate.
Okay, I'm going with Matthew with the outboard on the back.
The problem you've got with those forts is that they're surrounded by jagged metal just below the waterline, so you can't really go in an inflatable. So which is why you need something with a solid hull. That's where we've been struggling because we've got access to inflatables, but as soon as we approach and it pierces the underside, yeah, we're stuck there, and then we'll end up. Well, we were talking about Sam earlier, but I won't go into it. But well,
I was just going to say, we'll do a SAP, bring the Coast Guard.
Yeah.
I must admit, I mean, I feel sorry for him. It was not his fault, but I think that's been around social media quite so much now. I think everyone's aware of that anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't stop me bringing it up all the time and just taking the mickey, though.
That's him. I mean, that's why you've got to be careful with people you go with, isn't it? You've got to make sure that you're taking the right people on an explore with you.
Oh, well, that's the thing. I mean, I'll not lump Sam in with the same people as some others because, he's a young kid. He's still learning. Yeah, he makes a few mistakes. But, I mean, there are some other people I've been out with years ago and fine at the time, and then a year, 6 months down the line, they'll take a route and get themselves into trouble or deliberately do something that makes you look bad. It's like, it's nothing to do with us, but now we're associated.
Ian, you said about that, haven't you, with people you used to, you've explored with people that then later on down the line you sort of regret, but then, you have, at the time it was okay.
Indeed.
These things happen. And
that's life, isn't it? It's all about life, isn't it?
Yeah, everyone moves on, like with friends and stuff. You sort of meet people drift away and all that sort of stuff. So all you can do is do your best.
That's it.
Wow, these things
can only get better.
If someone turns into a serial killer or a psychopath, well, when I explored the tunnel with him, he seemed normal. That's it, really. That's all you can do. Look at he seems fine now, but you don't know next year he might go full on.
Yeah. It might be one of those cases. Like I used to sleep in the van with this guy.
I can see that being a really interesting witness statement on the police report. He was all right in the back of my van a year ago.
Yeah, no problems, boy, no problems.
Oh dear,
bloody innocent.
See, I love the way Ian is right now. He looks like he's throwing up into a bin next to a sign.
But then the beer's out, folks. Got to fit the beers down here.
I was just reading this. I mean, this is a good comment. Truly the 3 best YouTube channels out there. IKS Exploration, Sub-Exploration, and The Secret Vault.
Yeah.
So there you go. At least we got a fan out there, haven't we?
Indeed.
What's the username?
Why? Is it you?
Oh dear.
I don't want to get his surname wrong, but his name's Dan.
You all right, Dan? How you doing?
Dan, indeed.
There's a tide. Also, the problem is when people comment and you're not sure what country it's from, it's hard to know if it's in your country.
Yeah, there's also context as well. I mean, I had a long chat with a guy at the time. I thought he was in the UK yesterday. Turns out he was from Australia, and I'm saying to him, "No, you're wrong about that. No, that's not right." And I just didn't realise he was from another country, and I was like, "Oh, okay, you're from Australia. All right, fair enough. No, you're right.
Well, that's crazy, isn't it? Communication.
We've got an invite. If we pop over to Florida, we can go out to see the Gulf.
Golf?
GULF.
Golf 3.
Golf.
Oh, what? Remember that? The UFO incident.
I thought you meant golf.
No.
Do you play golf, do you, Sam?
No. I'm more of the if I was.
I'll tell you what. You know what really excites me about golf?
I've been playing golf.
Wait, Chris. You know what really makes me excited about golf? Is the beers afterwards, the clubhouse. Because mate, Andy, he loves a bit of golf. and you see him, the clubs afterwards. He's like really pissed up.
So
Legless.
it's basically just an excuse to go and play with some balls and then get pissed.
That sounds bad.
They see. I've said this. It's like
Get pissed and play with some balls.
yeah. When I visit the States, which I will do eventually, unfortunately, Florida's way low on my list because I want to go to one of the more liberal states like Texas, Arizona, because I want to blow something up.
Nah.
I mean, you guys went and you went. What was it? Mosin Nagant. Was it an M1 Garand? I know you did the Lee Enfield.
Yeah, we've done a few. We've done a French one that kept jamming. Lee Enfield, two types of Lee Enfield rifles. The sniper rifle one. And
that was this country, and I personally think it'd be more fun to do it in another country that's less. I don't know how to put it. It was very rule.
Very, very strict on rules, yeah. But the funny thing about it is you could have a few beers at lunchtime, which I think is a bit...
So in this country, there is no law against consuming alcohol whilst being in charge of a firearm. Which is why, before the fox hunting ban, you'd have all the guys on the horseback, and they'd just be getting absolutely faced on brandy and stuff. But no, I mean, I am quite firearms orientated, and I have to go to the Czech Republic or Poland to do anything interesting, because it's the way it is. I mean, you granted, if you're looking at like bolt action, Lee Enfields, Mosin Nagant, all that kind of stuff, you can do that in this country. That's not a problem at all. But if you want something a little bit more, Chris, now I know where that is. Because those spikes are unmistakable.
Yeah, they're lethal.
Did you go around the back, go through the fence, and go in and do the bunkers?
No, I got chased away by an angry guy in a truck.
We were lucky then, because the sheep were watching us, and we did
and
say
the goats.
they all like congregated around the entrance. So we were like, we got to make this quick because if they're there, they're going to be fed.
Yeah. Could I just say, when we're talking about the guns and stuff like that, and being at that rifle range, could I say a quick thanks very much to Jason for allowing us to use his guns and stuff and inviting us along.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, amazing experience, once in a lifetime. Thank you very much.
I'd really like to do that again as well.
Yeah.
I'll message you afterwards.
Well, I mean, there's various people that have invited us, overseas and stuff, and maybe it'd be good to test out some other toys around the world.
Luger, I wouldn't mind firing a Luger.
The other thing with this country is obviously you have a lack of handguns, you have a lack of the automatics and anything like that. So
I'm not really, to be honest, me personally, I'm not really fussed about machine guns.
Oh no, I
until you fired one. Then you'll be obsessed.
In my head, I get this idea that having an IKS camper van needs to have like a mid-mounted, decent-sized gun on the roof. Is this not what you're picturing in your head?
MG42.
I mean, am I? A pop?
I don't understand why. Why?
Well, it's an ex-Riot van with a bulletproof windscreen, plastic windows. Why does it not need a fucking great gun on the roof? Give me one reason.
At the moment, we're going around in a white Transit. People are like looking and thinking, "What's this? What are these guys dumping?" We get out in Great Yarmouth. We set up near a graveyard. We pull all the War and Peace camping stuff out of the van. It looks like we're dumping it.
Don't explain to Simon what happened after War and Peace.
We went up to Norfolk.
Oh
no, we left War and Peace. You know how wet it was.
Oh yeah,
it all got thrown in the back. Straight from there was up to Norfolk to do an explore. So we stayed there. We camped on the side of the road outside this graveyard, which we always do when we go see Stephen. It's a quiet street, and obviously the neighbours don't complain. So we took everything out the back and had to chuck it in the front.
So it looks totally dumped.
Bloody house clearance, because all the plastic chairs and the tent and all this shit. So wedging it in the cab side of stuff so we can sleep in the back. And yeah, it's not good. I
The
mean,
funny story is, to that poor canvas tent, it's still wrapped up. Ain't been opened up since, so that's fucked.
Oh, there you go. He's just broken his own rule of
yeah.
PG-13 is the
Yeah,
American.
sorry about that, folks.
It's all right.
But this is the chat room, so it's totally
It
different.
is. Yeah.
But not full on swear words. That slipped out.
No. We'll keep the C word under the belt.
Totally, yeah. That's a horrible word.
I was going to say, actually, if this is obviously on your channel, maybe do say to your followers and stuff that this is the alternative channel.
Yeah, there may
because
be
I don't think the alternative channel really gets shared out very often.
No, there might be some.
Now, you get the IKS exploration, but you don't get the IKS drunk.
But, at the moment, I'm sort of like uploading beer, drinking stuff, and so.
Well,
because I come away from that, I don't know, Simon knows, but I come away from uploading cooking videos and beer videos to the other channel because I want to have the IKS channel strictly for exploration and history videos. See, because you get the new subscribers going there just for that. Then all of a sudden, I put a cooking video up, me in an apron.
Yeah, they go nuts. They're like, "Why have you put this up? What are you doing?"
Yeah. So
I do kind of think the two need to be kept separate, and I've just it's all right. Just looking for a background picture.
Well,
right. What's the comments say, Chris?
Hang on.
Yeah, catch up on the comments. You seem to be the only person actually keeping an eye on the comments, which should be commended, by the way.
Yeah,
it is hard because also there is a delay because I've obviously got YouTube open as well, and I would say there probably is a 30-second delay from what we say to what comes up. So that's probably because it's being followed.
Well, it's got to bounce from your house
to. That's you on signs.
Oh, there we go.
Where's that? Oh, I know where that is. You know where that is, Simon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Same place.
Yeah. I actually went there with Hell on Earth to see if it was open after we visited a certain fort.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Was it sealed?
Yeah, no.
There were so many rumours. Like, the rumours were that they'd gone really hardcore and sealed it with concrete and everything. Yeah, no, they've really gone hardcore with that place. You're not getting in there
as well, and girders and.
Yeah. No, they driven girders into the floor and then they boxed it and filled it with concrete. That place is good luck.
For now.
I was looking at some video footage I took last time. I was thinking, if the kids wanted to get in, I'd say they could get in round there. So, that's just my looking at it.
The middle point would be my route if I were that way inclined.
Yeah, it's probably thinking of the same way.
Yeah.
The back door now is no go. The top door, no go. So it leaves one, doesn't it?
Never go in the back door.
Never go to the back door, folks.
You can't go to the front door, you can't go to the back door where you're going now.
I remember the first time I went in there, very, very paranoid. I think me and Chris, after we went to the Southwick tunnels, wasn't it? We went to the Southwick tunnels. It was like, arranged a trip there and we were allowed to go. And they come out and it's like, well, let's see if this place is open. So we parked up and then we went up there and had a look, and then it was open. The back door of this place was open. We go in and all we could hear was this echo that's go on and on and on. And I was quite terrified. I thought, what the hell are we going to find down here? Because I didn't know. I don't think I'd seen the plans to the place or nothing. I just knew it was there.
No, the Southwick tunnels are quite interesting because we're talking about 10 years ago now. Me and Badger. Before we started actually putting any of our stuff online, we'd heard of people running airsoft in old military tunnels. And we were like, we've got to give that a go. So we went and played in Southwick tunnels. And during the lunch break, which they break for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we were like, right, well, this is a good opportunity. We can just go on our own and have a look at everything. I mean, after we'd seen everything, it descended into chaos and we started trying to shoot each other with handguns, but that's right. It's a lot of historical places are being taken over by airsoft sites, and I'm not going to lie, it does its damage because
I did see that when we was there, like the toilets and that had all dented on the paintwork and that, the door frames.
Yeah, some of the worst places, Epsom Deep Shelter was used for a very long time as an airsoft site, and all of the original wood above the doors is just full of plastic pellets.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that they're biodegradable; it damages the wood and the frame and stuff.
Yeah, it's all original stuff, isn't it? So.
Well, even earlier than that, and I'm talking about 16, 7. Oh God, maybe even 18 years ago, Fort Amherst, the part of Fort Amherst that they recently did into the little amphitheatre, and they've done it up and opened it to the public, that was all an airsoft site 18 years ago, and we used to go nuts in there, just, and I know the damage firsthand because I saw it happening. It's like, maybe you shouldn't open historical sites to people playing airsoft. It's like...
Isn't it, Chris? We was talking about Southwick tunnels, the damage to wood.
The thing is, I don't know if you said it, because we got there obviously before it was open in the evening, and towards the end, and they're out testing guns and stuff. It did sort of turn into more of a World War II reenactment, didn't it? With a dagga and all that shit.
You could hear it in the background, couldn't you? Yeah.
Ollie, shh.
Yeah, but they keep the tunnels locked up, I suppose, doesn't it? But
yeah,
they should take precautions. Say we're not opening that place up. You can't go in there because the woodwork is all original, and we don't want that damaged.
It's a hard one, really, because I suppose without the investment and the stuff that's running a business there, probably going to be locked up, sealed up, broken into, and trashed anyway. So it is now. At least it's being used, and at least like with us. We asked if we could have a look around. We offered to pay. They were quite happy. No, you come down. We'll let you in early. Have a look around and all that. Didn't take a penny. Tried. Quite happy with it. Yeah, we did try.
You want beer, lad?
And yeah, I, to be honest, and also I bet it's a great laugh running around in all them tunnels, shooting your mates.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, it's good fun down there, but it's when you are walking down a corridor when the round is over and you've got people deliberately shooting the rotten wood just because they find it funny that the BBs stick in the wood. That's the kind of that's the problem. But yeah, I mean, bouncing a BB off of the tin, the tin. That's not so much of an issue. It's just that kind of stuff. There's no.
We've been to. There's another deep shelter where they used to do airsofting, isn't there? Where there's certain bits shut off. And when you look over the back, there's bin bags full of BB.
Epsom was talking about that.
Yeah, we were talking about that one.
Okay, we're just naming everything now, are we?
Well, it's locked up.
Oh well, but we're not naming it and we're not showing it. And there's
where is it?
No,
it's Norfolk.
There's no visual.
Norfolk.
I thought it was in Sussex.
Everything's in Dover. We all know that.
I don't know, folks.
Just reading comments. I'm not just having a bit in the corner.
God, my desk is getting dirty from this glass. Don't know why.
Hang on. Chris, ask Ian to narrate his cooking video of the food history.
Yeah, I heard that, and I did comment back on a comment like that. And I said, if I had time to do that, so I probably would, go into depth of why sausage rolls are sausage rolls. But unfortunately, I really don't have time for that. The chat room channel is just like an entertainment channel. I've just done that sausage rolls for fun. I really take seriously the IKS exploration channel with the history videos. That's what I really take seriously, folks. So, if this was a full-time job, maybe I could do a funny look into when sausage rolls and how and why they're named sausage rolls.
I'll tell you what, I can give you really good words of wisdom on sausage rolls. We just went, a couple of days ago, went to Lidl's to do the monthly shopping. Do not buy Lidl's sausage rolls. I cannot tell you what's in them at all, but I'm not convinced it's sausage.
Of course.
I'm not entirely sure that Lidl could tell you what's in those sausage rolls.
No, but when I was
Lidl German?
Well, I think it is actually Lidl's, but
Yeah, they are German. Yeah.
they're pretty good for most things. I mean, I've got burgers, and the burgers are 99% meat, and actually they're bloody awesome.
So what's
They're
the sausages then?
Proper cow. The sausages, well, are supposed to have a meat content, but I weren't too keen, and I fed it to the cat, and the cat didn't eat it. Which worries me slightly.
Oh
Yeah.
no, that's saying
That's
something,
the
folks,
test
isn't it?
right there. If the cat doesn't eat it, you know it's bad.
Yeah, so, okay, next time when I go for slightly better quality and pay the extra 20p.
How much were they? Like 50p or something for 20?
99p for 10. I thought that was good. Well, you know what it's like. I know that we normally go for the Tesco ones, the two for £3, which are really, really good. I like them. But obviously we was in Lidl's, and after you've queued up for like 7 days to get in the shop, you know, you buy your food for your month, and you panic buy it because you may never get into another supermarket.
What are you getting sausage rolls for, Bob?
Because I wanted something in the fridge. You know when you go to the fridge, this is the problem. Now I'm at home and not doing anything. It's like you sit here, bored, you watch YouTube, watch TV, bored, do some decorating, bored, eat.
So, you know what you should be buying? Tinned.
Spam!
No. Baked beans, sausages in spaghetti hoops, and all that stuff. What are you getting packet of sausage rolls? Those tins will last for years, man.
I'm not like getting food for the next apocalypse.
And you can eat them cold, folks. So
Get creative. I mean, today, for example, I'm doing something I've never done before, which is either going to work great or
How did that go? Because I'm assuming by now you're talking the past tense. Because if you haven't cooked it yet, it's fine.
Ah, yeah. So you saw my Facebook post, yeah?
I did.
Yeah. So basically, I'm making something called salu, which is a Slavic delicacy, and you don't cook it; you cure it. So you put it in like a brine, and you just leave it out. So it's raw.
Oh, now I can see why everyone was saying about you're going to die.
Exactly, yeah. Well, it was Alyssa that gave me the recipe, and she's Russian, so she got the recipe I think from her mother and something. So I was like, yeah, I'll give that a go. I'm down for that because I tried salu when I was abroad and I loved it. So problem is though, Western country guy tries to make something like that, I could poison myself. But yeah, you've got nothing better to do in these times, so you might as well try and poison yourself.
what was that thing the old is it Chinese or Japanese make? They put a fish and they put it in the ground for a few months and then they dig it up again and eat it.
I've never heard of that. It just sounds like grave robbing to me.
I must admit,
fish.
I've said this a million times before. If it came down to fending for yourself, it wouldn't be long until I became a vegetarian. The whole idea of going to chase your food around a field, drag it back, peel it, cook it,
gut it.
That's what I said.
Got to peel it.
Your series on peeling animals.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
This is the thing. I mean, a number of people that follow me know that on occasion I do hunt animals, but I never do it for sport because I'm of the belief that blood sports are just, you're wasting life. It's just cruel. However, if you're hunting for the purposes of food or the preservation of agriculture, so like pest control stuff like that, then it's justified. But that's my perspective. So I am familiar with rabbit. Occasionally, I have had some fun with friends, whereby there's a way to preserve a rabbit when you're out in the field. If you know you're going to be walking around for a couple of hours, right, to make sure the meat's still good, whereby you hold. This is where Ian might get demonetized.
Well, we lose the follow.
Yeah. So you hold it by the head, under the front arms. You hook them, and then you fling it from side to side over like this to make the guts fall low into the belly, and then you place it on your leg and you push. and you slowly squeeze all of the insides down towards the back, and then the last one just goes with a big pop, and the whole of the insides come out of its backside, and it preserves the meat for you to carry around a little bit longer before you put it on ice or you butcher it. But yeah, the amount of people, the first time they see that, they're like, ugh, you know, they just want to puke.
I don't think I could deal with that. So have you actually caught and cooked your own rabbit?
Oh yeah, no, many times. Squirrel is particularly nice.
How? Okay,
Squirrel.
that
Poor
extends the
squirrels,
question. What would you say rabbit and squirrel taste like compared to your normal shopping Tesco's?
It's very difficult to describe if you're not familiar with a game meat. It's much more rich in flavour with regards to like an irony kind of taste.
More ducky.
Ducky, but way further. Have you ever had venison or deer?
No, I don't do duck either, but I was just asking because I know
Okay.
I know what people say. Duck is the flavour is quite rich.
Oh, duck's weird. It's in its own bracket because you can pan fry that and it doesn't taste like poultry and it doesn't taste like game. It is its own flavour. Whereas game animals such as, you know, rabbits and stuff like that, they fall more in the kind of game category like venison and stuff like that. It's very rich, very irony. But it depends how you cook it. So if you do it rare or if you do it well done, the taste differs so much more than if it was beef and you did it rare and well done.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's down to preference, to be honest. A lot of people don't like game meats because it does have that really rich flavour to it. But
I must admit, in tonight's conversation, I didn't think we were discussing basically temperatures of cooking your, your rabbit.
I've got a comment here.
I was trying to read the comments, but
Adrian and Anderson.
Go on.
So, what is more important, the experience of the explorer or the history of the place?
That was about an hour ago. He said that.
Did you read it out?
No, I didn't because I'm trying to read some out. But if in the middle of everyone talking, I'm not going to go. Oi, folks, there's a message.
Right, let's answer that. Then.
I'd say history.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to have to answer that. We can't just read the question and then not answer it.
I mean,
it's a bit cruel.
Like I said before, I like to view the place, look at the history and stuff like that. And
it's the history, you know.
It has to be, doesn't it?
I'll just come back and then my flies run down, folks. Didn't notice that.
Good job you're sitting down.
Yeah, it's the history of the stuff, you know. It's look into it, folks, and
Oh yeah, I mean, I'd say personally, it's like a percentage that changes as you do it. So for me, it's like depends where you go. So some places you'll be like, I'm really going to look forward to the history, and other places you'll be like, I'm really looking forward to the adventure. But you go into it with a 50-50, and it's only once you're there and you've been there for a little bit, and then you take the time to kind of process it, and then you're like, oh, well, actually, the history's just way overdone that. And then you start thinking about how did they build it, how did they do this, that, the other, and that's where then it becomes more interesting.
I've gone to some places before, and I've known no history, and I had to take it as it come. Basically, I think that place we met Hell on Earth. I didn't know much about that place.
Oh yeah.
Realistically, the two sort of go together. I don't really think you appreciate one without the other. You know, I think you get both when you go somewhere. And I don't think, you know, in the grand scheme of things, I don't think you can really put a bigger percentage on one.
What you're saying there is quite true, actually, because, you know, if you go to a place that's open to the public or that's been opened for you to have a look, it's not the same.
No.
No, there's...
So, it is 50-50, yeah.
Well, as I say, I mean, when it comes to experience and history, there's one that I messaged Chris about a little while back. By the way, nice background, Chris. Yeah, I know where that is. Do you not remember me talking to you about a certain job that required ropes and a
Yes.
little bit of interesting access?
We've up. I don't know if you've seen it in the local video, last videos. We've upgraded this. We have a 10-meter proper metal caving ladder.
10. I'm just trying to think if 10-meter will do that drop. I don't think it will. It's quite deep. So, as I say, if you
better have a rope on the
guys,
bottom of it.
we do need to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not very good with rope. Actually, I don't know if Ian still hasn't put it up, but our history lesson with rope went rather badly, should we say. Well, I fell off the wall twice. Every time I went down the wall, I was hanging off a rope, basically.
Well,
that was the I don't know if you remember, the same time I messaged you, because we were learning with, feeding the rope through and stuff, and I messaged you and said about the automatic descenders.
yes, yeah. Assistant malaise, yeah.
Which it does sound like a better idea. And then we also tried to do some training with going back up. But the guy who showed us, his stuff couldn't really get us back up. And then he tried to show us the idea of, like in our example, if Ian tethers off me, Ian can go up the wall, and I can keep him taut.
Yeah.
But when it came the other way and I tried to go up the wall, I just made Ian fly.
Yeah, well, that's it. I mean, in order to climb back up, all you need is a 40-pound bit of equipment, little handle called an ascender. Makes a world of difference, and a bit of rope hanging off the bottom of it. That's why, and it was. I'm not breaking the secrecy here because I'm going by the title of the video. But you guys put up a video of a fuel pipeline tunnel in the Portsmouth area, whereby Ian went down on a belay, and I watched that.
Was it a belay?
That's what. See, this is it. That's what it's called. But I was looking at that video in absolute horror, because obviously I knew you're all right. Because if it had gone wrong, you'd not have put the video up. Well, maybe you put the video up, but that's why I don't know if you noticed. Like a week after that, I put up a very brief video just showing absolute basics, because I saw that and I was. It was mainly I was so worried about you guys. I was like, I've got to teach them just hand down, not up. Just it's that little bit of difference,
It's weird. It's when you're on that edge, your body acts weird, and it's like you think you're in the right place, and it's like
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's natural instinct. So that's the problem though, because a lot of natural instinct goes against the equipment. And I was looking at it, I was like, oh god, these guys are going to do themselves in. Quick tutorial. So we went to Cliff Fort and we just hammered one out. Can
I stop you for 2 minutes because I've got a question, and then we go back to. I've got 2 questions on the whole rope thing.
Oh.
Guy on here, bless him, all evening. I think I did try and reply earlier. He said, "Do you think there's a lot of bunkers that are privately owned that haven't been seen yet?" Well, I personally think, because of the freedom of information and all that, I think we know all the bunkers are, or at least the decommissioned ones anyway. What do you guys think?
Well, I have not a friend, but an associate.
Yeah.
So I can tell you bunkers are still being built.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, well, an associate of mine, I went round for a big group barbecue round his house. He lives actually just down the road from the Southern Water nuclear bunker.
I'll come to that in a minute.
And he's built his own bunker, but it's really cool because he's got this summer house at the end of his garden. Yes, he's got quite a bit of money, this guy. End of his garden, he's got a little summer house. You go in, it's got a sofa, a bookshelf, a couple of other bits. Go to the bookshelf, and he's deliberately done it like James Bond, right? Like you pull a book, and the whole floor with the sofa lifts up on hydraulics. You go down, he's got exercise equipment, a little cinema, a pool table, and a kitchen down there. It's really cool, honestly.
Wow.
So stuff's you can't say that we know everything because stuff's still being built, whether it's civilian or MOD.
Well, you might be right there. Maybe I'm missing the point really, because I just assumed you meant privately owned as in ex-MOD. I suppose privately owned, maybe he is going down the road you thought of, where it's more of privately built.
Well, you've got to bear in mind that the MOD have still got a lot of restrictions on a lot of sites. Fort Amherst, for example, have got 2 areas they're not allowed to go into until the 2023. So yeah, there's by all means there's a lot of stuff out there that we just don't know about.
Well, we need to do some alley law and get into them sites then, folks.
Oh,
No comment.
Anyway, further on from what we were saying earlier, let me go back a minute. Rope work. The reason I didn't go down where Ian did to that pipe work that goes under the motorway. Have you been in that?
I've not been in that personally. I know where it is.
Yeah.
Apparently that's not an old tunnel.
The reason I didn't do that, I didn't go in that because I was more concerned about getting back out. That's why I didn't follow you. I thought, well, I'll just watch it on video.
Yeah.
Secondly, the other place you said about became quite an issue when we went back a few winters ago. Went in, the weather weren't too bad, a bit of snow. Coming back out, Ian got out first, and obviously you got a tight rope around the top to have some rope to get from the ladder out of the vent shaft at the top.
Back then, it's easier now, but back then...
Ian clawed his way out, and then I was like, look, you need to sort the rope out. And he's standing outside in the snow.
There's a blizzard coming down, folks. My beard was white.
He goes, I can't do it. I was like, mate, there's no choice, you know.
You got to.
Parked outside. He doesn't drive, and he's like, I can't get you out. There isn't an option of I can't get you out. I can't tie the rope because it's snowing. It's like,
no, my hands are proper numb.
Help! He's like, my hands are too cold. Just.
Every time I'd done a knot, it just kept slipping. So.
Yeah. So,
and look, here you are, 2 years later.
Moral of the story is you don't go exploring when there's a blizzard coming. And to be fair, when we went into the place, it wasn't. But B, I think we need some more training on some rope work. And I think we should maybe go for someone like Simon more than the guy.
Right.
Because, he abseils into places pissed up. Like, I'm in.
Pissed up.
Little bit. There was one event that I didn't film a couple of years back. Me and Dave went to the north entrance, wherever that may be.
Yeah, could be anywhere.
And we were
Portsmouth.
Portsmouth. Yeah, we oh my god, we were just so way too many cans. You shouldn't do that, people watching. It's not safe, but we did, and it was a good laugh. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. As I say, the location of the north entrance is actually quite a good training point. I mean, it's a little bit high for those who are inexperienced. It can be quite intimidating, but it's not massively high. Bottom line is, if you're just trying to learn how to go up, then you can get guys to go up top, do the rope, throw it down. You just learn to go up, and then you come down periodically. So yeah, no, it's good. As I say, for the sake of a 40 quid ascender, it's best thing you can get. Yeah. One of those, bit of rope on the end, put your foot in, gets you out of everything. Really nice and easy. It's all about technique, though. The technique, a lot of people kind of screw up on the first go because you've got to relax with your hand whilst lifting your other hand up and your foot. So you relax, pull. A lot of people don't quite get that the first time round, but once you get it, it's nice and easy. So yeah, we'll have to get that. We'll have to come down there sometime, and we'll spend an afternoon.
Yeah, to be fair, the place you was on about, if that ladder ain't long enough, we're gonna have to obviously sort that anyway.
It's 10 meters will not do you.
10
for
meters
that.
or?
I'm trying to convert.
Chris, how long's the ladder? I forgot.
That's what I think. I think it's 10 meters, but I suppose you
can't we just tie that telescopic ladder to the bottom?
You could suspend the ladder. Yeah, we could do that.
Well, what I was going to say was you might be able to, like a bit like Simon was just about to say, if you obviously attach the ladder to a rope, you can lower yourself in the first 4 foot.
I'd rather have the ladder at the top and pull myself up to the first part of the ladder instead, because I hate the lip of the.
Yeah.
I hate the lips
As
of the
we learned with
tunnels.
Hell on Earth, you don't hold the top of the telescopic ladder and chuck it in a hole. Do you remember? I don't know if you saw that video, Simon.
Yeah, no, I did.
Yeah.
What video was that? What one?
Take the top came off.
What,
Brilliant. Yeah.
Where was that?
With Hell on Earth, when we were doing the chalk caves.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought it will lock. Obviously, it locks. So I thought it'll go click, 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 all stylish, and lock.
Showing off. That's what happens when you show off.
The top comes off. Well, I thought you could
Expensive
do that
equipment,
with a
folks.
ladder like that. It should. The top shouldn't come off a ladder, should it?
No. It's bent ladder though, wasn't it?
I paid good money for that ladder. Thank you very much. It's not bent.
Yeah, well, the only trouble you've got with the particular site that we're discussing is that the hole is directly in the middle of the wider shaft. So once you get to the top, you've got to. That's why when we did it, we left people outside deliberately, because we knew we wouldn't be able to get out unless someone was there to help pull us out. You know what I mean?
I think maybe that's going to be the way to go. I think maybe.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
Look into that, because it'd be like with that. It'd be better to do with more people. I mean, I don't know if you want to go back in and whatever, but
Yeah.
obviously if there's probably me and Ian. IKS Tom will probably go. Fez will probably go if he can find a thick enough rope. So, he's not on here now, so I can say that because he watches the videos. What about, I don't know, 10 years behind? I've just come into the IKS videos. That's the level of where he's got up to watching. So by the time he sees that some of the videos Ian's pixelated out his arse, and I've insulted him a few times, it'll be fine because it'll be like 2025.
Oh yeah, that'll be fine.
To be honest, I'm probably as fat as he is anyway, so I think we need to make sure that there is a decent sized rope that can take a ton or two.
It'll be fine.
See, go on about weight. You're not fat. How much do you weigh?
Don't know, I got the scales, but let's just say I weigh more than I need to weigh. Hang on, let me catch up with the comments.
Quick, change the subject, folks.
Telescopic designed to take weight in. Yeah, someone has said the telescopic ladder is designed to take weight in one direction.
Who said that then?
Urbexy. But they're right. You know, like, obviously it's going down. It's designed to take your weight as you're going up it. It's not designed to hang the ladder. Or, like I said, when you grab the top and you drop it, it's not designed to support any weight that way, because the ladder is designed to work on gravity. So, yeah, they are right. And that's why, obviously,
just chuck the ladder down the hole then and sort it out when you're down there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The idea of the caving ladder.
It's long enough.
That's why we bought the caving ladder.
Well, at the end of the day, any kind of solid steel ladder, just it'll be fine. Yeah, telescopic not so good if you're climbing up.
I was
quite surprised actually how wide the caving ladders were. So I thought they were going to be something like this, but they are quite, and they're quite thick as well. The rungs, I thought they were really thin rungs, and it's quite narrow, but they're quite large. Actually, it's sort of the same size as a normal ladder, isn't it?
On the subject of why we bought it, I mean, we might as well mention this because
no, don't mention the location, mate. Not to the public.
I'm not going to mention the location, but we were told about a location which basically involved you go onto the roof of the building and you go into the vent shaft. So we went to check it out and we thought, okay, you know, how hard can that be? You get climb the roof. So we got on the roof. That's not a problem. But then you realise the vent shaft, because it's a semi-sunk bunker, the vent shaft goes deeper than the building. So we took the telescopic ladder with us, and it was great, but
it weren't long enough.
You can't build the ladder and then fit it.
Yeah.
Basically, you've got you've got a vent shaft that comes along, and then you've got a vent shaft that goes down. So you basically got to do a 90-degree turn. which you can't do with a ladder.
Yeah, it was
So
really
this is
tight. So
like-
it's about 3/4 of a metre, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then you look down it, and it's like you fall down there, you're not coming back out. Which is why we bought the caving ladder. But we'll let you know about that, because if you're around, because it's actually probably closer to you than it is to us, and we need to go check it out at some point.
It's most definitely closer to Ian.
Have you spoke? Well, it depends who you spoke to. If you know what I mean.
Oh, sorry. Right, you're right. I'm sorry. I thought you were on about
that one. There's another one, but
Different
it's the
one.
same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Where you can't use a fixed ladder. It has to be a sort of. And if Ian's ladder's not long enough, then we do need to look at rope options. Also,
we can sort you out with that.
because it's a shaft, it's great having the ladder, but like I said to Ian, I'm not convinced you going down something, say, that is 30, 40 foot, it's probably maybe better to still go for the rope option as well.
I just sent Simon the location name.
Okay, we've got loads of harnesses, but we don't have the skill to actually ascend into somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, it's not. We can definitely help out. God, I'm guessing my laptop's eating all the bandwidth because the phone's just white.
Anyway, we don't have to sort that out now, but I mean,
Oh yeah.
it's on the cards, and
Be nice
it's one
if
of
it's
those things. It's a catch-22. No one's been in it, and it's not open, but someone has been in it because there's a hole cut in the vent shaft. However, after you go down through the ventilation, at the bottom, there might be a plate over it.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's why you need to have a solid exit strategy to.
Yeah, back up the way you
Yeah.
came in. But it's one of them things. Is what do you do? Do you go?
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, no, I've just got Ian's message. Yeah, no.
You've got to sort of try these things, because if we don't, and then next year someone's like, oh, here's a brilliant video of exploring all this place, we're gonna be like, oh fuck, we should have done it.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Obviously, once all the whole lockdown thing's finished and all of that, if we have, we're all in Kent, so we can come down to the Dover area. We'll have a good day's session teaching you how to go up ropes. And then we can sort out a time we can go over to that area and we can hit this up and see if we have any luck.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll do the one you said about.
Yeah.
Yeah. How far away? Because I assumed you were more London based. Are you?
I work in London, but I'm in Medway.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So it's nice and easy, and you've got to bear in mind as well. There are even once you've learned how to ascend a rope, if you're still not, 100%, there are many techniques where you can work as a team to help people up and down.
Yeah.
So it's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
The only thing you need to make sure that you do is you send a more experienced person down first, because if it's a ventilation shaft and you're confined with space, so you're not going to be able to pass each other.
Right.
So send a more experienced person down, so if someone else gets stuck, they're already behind to help get them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah.
I'm thinking of some of these places like that, because we haven't done a lot. I'd rather take experienced people like you, you and your guys and stuff, and we'll do a decent adventure.
Oh yeah, and
It's fun. Fun getting on
good.
there, actually.
Huh?
It's fun getting on it.
It adds to the fun getting in.
Yeah, and sometimes I think with a few more people like that, you overcome the paranoia of worrying about people might come, or I'm going to get stuck, because there's enough people there that worst case scenario, they can get you out.
Well, yeah, when you're talking about a tight confined space such as entering a bunker via a ventilation shaft, you always keep people on the outside, because let's say everyone went in, all you need is some kid to come along, stumble across it and go, oh, there's a rope on that, and if they tamper with that and it goes, you're in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all about just playing it safe.
Ian actually said this about the one we found. You'd have to obviously tie the ladder off at the top, and if we had a rope, even if we went for rope and individual harnesses and stuff to go down, the problem being is if there's no one at the top, someone could come along and go, oh, I'll saw that off.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to happen, but
yeah, it's not going to happen. But you've got to take that risk into account. Because if you don't, you're setting yourself up for failure.
Well, if someone says, "I'll have that ladder,"
on the comments anyway, someone has said they're counting on Fairs getting stuck, and someone else said just lube him up first.
What was it?
He'll get in quick.
On Dad's Army once, wasn't it? Mandarin and Wilson were in this tunnel under this prison camp or something like that, prison of war camp, and Mandarin was stuck, and then Wilson starts laughing. He's like, "What are you laughing at?" Wilson goes, "Oh, this reminds me of Winnie the Pooh." He had to wait down there or something like that to lose weight before he could free himself or something like that.
That sounds a little bit like me and Fez, to be fair. Because I'm not insulting Fez, because obviously I probably weigh as much as he does, so I feel I can get away with relating to him as both being slightly larger than
I
me.
really want to know how much you weigh.
I don't want to know.
Get the scales down.
I don't own any, and B, I don't want to go near them.
I've got some scales, mate.
That's what I said. On the plus side, well, not the plus side, but like I said, I moaned because I think someone shrunk my trousers.
I do notice actually sometimes in the van it leans more your way than mine.
That's because it's a 22-year-old van and it's fucked. More than that, I'm fatter than you are.
It's only a joke, mate.
To be brutally honest, one thing I do need to look at, and as you know, if you're driving along and you let go of the steering wheel, it does turn right, left, left, yes, left.
Autopilot, I think they call that, folks.
No, I think I think it means the tracking is like this far out.
Yeah, but that's just a temporary van.
The temporary van that we've done like 25,000 miles in, you mean?
Just up the road and back.
Yeah.
Well,
new clutch.
I hate to be the party pooper, but I'm gonna have to duck out now.
Yeah, I think that's probably end of the show anyway. I think we've done. How long have we been on?
Yeah, no. As I say, hate to be party pooper, but I've got to get stuff sorted. I'm up early in the morning to go do some. Well, not gas mask shopping this weekend, but next weekend definitely.
And that NBC suit.
Yeah, it'll give me time to have that delivered.
To be totally honest, like I messaged you, Simon, and said me and Ian were supposed to be joining house party at 8.
But this was going so well, I postponed that. No, it's been good. It's good to see you again, Simon, and that. Have a good chat and that.
Oh yeah, no, it's great to catch up with you fellas.
We'll have to have another catch up, and then maybe if it's us lot, maybe we'll do another catch up and put it on the IKS
we'll
page.
do it on the big channel, yeah.
Oh well, if you're gonna do that, I'll make sure that I've got mine set up as well, and we can all live stream from there.
Like I said, I think get Johnny on one.
Yeah, that'll be a good laugh. You know that'll descend into chaos.
The only problem with that is, I mean, if we do Johnny and that, then maybe it does have to go on the other channel.
Well, this
channel.
one, yeah, swearing, folks.
Just you know.
Yeah, it would get demonetized for certain, but I don't think it would get banned.
Yeah. But this one's fine. I think all the folks will find this one eventually, because there's not a lot. We've done a live show on the other show once before. What did we get? 200 viewers?
We'll have to look at this.
We've got 78 people watching. Thank you very much, folks, indeed.
Like with Skype at the moment, I don't know how many people you can have on. I mean, tonight, 4, I think was enough.
Yeah.
I think you've got to be careful. The more people you have, the harder it is to do a video. Because everyone tries to talk over each other anyway. And I don't know how many people really fit on the screen.
No, because I've got me. I'm floating about here. I mean, I don't know if anyone looks at the screen lately, but I'm in the centre at the top.
Yeah, but earlier, because Fez is on... That's why the reason it went funny earlier, I messaged Fez and said, could he go to landscape? Because basically it had 2 people on landscape and then it had Fez on portrait that took up 2 spaces, and then the fourth person stuck in the corner. But if he could get onto the normal landscape size, you'd get 4 people on that quite good, for a video.
Yeah.
I mean, Zoom's good because it goes through the people that talk. That's why I like Zoom. But obviously, because you're too tight to sort the program out, we need to think of other options.
Well, I'll look at it again. I just, I just didn't have good luck with this.
How's your Zoom? Because you said about being on Zoom. Have you tried doing Zoom to YouTube or not?
OBS.
Well, I've had Zoom chats with a group of 30 people, and the latency was fine.
Yeah, but have you done that live? Have you shared that live over to
No.
YouTube?
It's an OBS problem. It's not.
This is a problem we've had. We can go on Zoom. We can all have a chat, but when we try and do it live to YouTube.
So what's the situation, Simon?
Yeah.
About it says that you can have up to 40 minutes with over 3 people or over 2 people.
Oh, what, you talking about Skype?
No,
or Zoom.
Zoom. You have to pay, don't you, for certain things?
Yeah, so if you want to have massive groups, you do have to pay a subscription. The person hosting the event has to pay, like a premium. Yeah.
Because when we used it last time, it went over 40 minutes. It says it's automatically upgraded me. And I thought, what, is it automatic charge me or something? I ain't put my details in, but...
Yeah, they upgrade your status, basically. That's all it is. It's only when you want to video conference with loads of people that they start charging. But if you're live streaming from your computer, that doesn't matter as long as you're only talking to a few people.
Right, yeah, because, was it 4, wasn't it? 3? 4?
Yeah, so that's what we need to sort out, why you can't live stream it to YouTube. That's the problem.
No, it's just not showing up in OBS. It's just a black screen. I did have this problem with Skype earlier, and I thought, here we go again. But I managed to sort it out. But I should have play with it. Or I'll just buy a Wirecast. I don't know.
Yeah, that is weird.
I wouldn't stop buying programs. Because
I don't want pirate software on my computer, mate. I'll tell you that right now.
No.
Yeah, no comment.
See, there you go.
Anyway, I really am going to have to cut it now, guys. I do apologise.
Out of here.
Get out of here.
No, it's good to see you, mate. Good to speak to you.
Yeah, no, it's good. We'll do something else. We'll do another one of these soon. Maybe get some more people in. It'll be a good laugh.
On another note, I'm going to say it now because he's commented about 1 million times. I only just catch up with the comments. Ian, remember Wookie?
Right.
Who basically comments on every live stream we do, every beer festival we do, and all that shit. He does say at some point you'd like to join our chat.
Right.
Chat. I think we're up for that. I'll chuck that in the conversation now, so he catches up on that.
Rightio, folk.
We usually do 6 on Zoom. Well, yeah, we do. We will try and sort that out.
We'll look at that. Yeah, because Skype has my hair's falling out even more. So
yeah, I don't want to ask too many comments now because obviously we're going to leave. So we'll wrap this up.
Indeed.
And, nice to speak to you, Simon. I think we should do another one soon. And
definitely,
pretty good. I mean, no one's going out, so we might as well fill the time.
Yeah. Keep
the fans amused.
Oh yeah, and well, let's be honest, we've got plenty to talk about. So it'd be good fun.
We'll see if we get Johnny or Lloydie on the next one.
Yeah, get one of those guys on too. Just spice it up a bit. It'd be good laugh. We can test their history knowledge.
Indeed.
I think that's very low because they're obviously from Yorkshire.
Bit racist, isn't it? Right. Okay then, Simon. Thanks very much for watching. Thank you very much, folks, for watching.
Thanks for
we will see you all
guys,
soon.
And enjoy the rest of your evenings and have a good one.
Yeah, stay safe.
See you later. Bye.
See you later,
See you
guys.
later. Thank you, folks. Indeed. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.